Okay. Sorry, everything's unmuted now. Hello, chat, if you exist. Welcome to Fail Portrayal. As you can see, tonight, eventually, we will be talking about this guy. As I put, sexy Eldlich as the thumbnail.
His swagger.
This alt art does have a lot of swag. Also, yes, your ears aren't confused. You do actually hear Vesper for like the first time in like a year on Fail Portrayal. 2 years.
It's been a little bit.
It's first of all been doing Fail Portrayal much longer than I remember. Apparently this month is the season where we all get nostalgia for Prague. Because
basically out of nowhere, I just went like, you know what? I want to watch the old Prague episodes.
Which is very funny because simultaneously... Sorry, X. We're all waiting to speak. But simultaneously, I was also having that thought. I just don't know why, but one week I was like, hey, when did I start playing Hero? And I just started flicking through GX episodes. And we mentioned Fail Portrayal very early in that, like mid-GX.
Is it? I have to ask now. Besides, actually, that was the first thing. It turns out, Sir, you really were our jank master, the master of jank.
Yeah, no, being able to kind of like mini binge some duels and seeing a lot of deck lists. Are we past the
Yeah, no. That's why I let it buffer for like a minute without any sound.
I was really the master of just coming up with the most heinous brews.
Yes.
I will say, you were like, I'll keep quoting this, but you were cooking of electrical fires.
It's crazy. And I mean, I learned a lot going back. I feel like my deck building has actually improved. I don't know what point it's gonna be there, but I'm like watching myself make 45 card decks every week, and I'm like, oh, buddy, you could have trimmed 5 of those. Just learn not to play without.
I was making 45 card decks just to piss off Robin because I put in Upstart and Pot of 3.
Yeah,
I was doing it on purpose.
I mean, like. My first, I think, really good hero deck was running, like, 3 E-Call, 3 Stratos, 3 Prisma, so having 45 cards doesn't matter. Turn 1, I'm gonna pull, like, 3 cards out of the deck, but other than that, it's crazy. But yeah, so we've all been simultaneously having this nostalgia. Go ahead, X.
I need to really ask this, but is it strange when I think about Prague, I just think of it's like my high school years or things I just don't want to remember anymore because it's only painful or awkward?
I mean... You thinking of your Prague experience as painful does kind of encapsulate your Prague experience, because the reason why it was painful, and I think I can say this honestly looking back, is that, like, you and your crippling self-doubts really don't take to being good at stuff well. This is why we...
I need outside reassurance, and no one wants to give it.
I think we excessively bitched, but we bitched about you being a bad winner because, like... Through the whole series, you were kicking all of our collective asses, but you do not possess the, like, ego level of an all-time champ. It was very hard. I believe Dallas, and I think Vesper uses this analogy too sometimes, like, Axe was our, like, baby face that nobody liked. Like, he was the normal good boy of winning Yu-Gi-Oh! And just the rest of us were like, damn, I can't believe this guy beats our ass every week.
You guys literally made a heel club of losers because I existed.
The one thing about Prague, being able to just look back on all of it, as I was playing, I always managed to be in, like, I don't think I ever went above like 54% win ratio. I never went before like 45. I was like always exactly like at that median of 50%.
Yeah.
I think I got irrationally angry at Robin just because he blew out everyone every time he fucking showed up for some reason.
And Robin talked about it. Robin almost always came to win because he was on a schedule where he was only coming every other week. So he was like, no, I'm here to play Real Boy Yu-Gi-Oh! Every time. I feel like despite the fact that my deck building got better, I feel like my capacity as a winner got less. Like, I was actually, like, number 2 in the format, like, through DM. And then, just in GX, I just fucking took a big L, and it was probably the heroes. And I don't think I ever quite crawled out of that dive. Though, I do have the fortunateness of my last the last video we put out was me winning with Trickstar. Thank God.
I still think that's honestly a good thing because it's like you deserve that win.
Oh, I was trying.
I think I remember times where I literally like I fucking like faked an injury like I was playing fucking soccer a few times so that I could at least get a chance, and I was like, I feel fucking bad about it still.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'll take. If you feel bad about it, I'll take it. There's something about the vision of it.
Everyone fucking knew it was fake.
I don't know. I don't think anybody thought it was fake because all the rest of us had bad luck. I think all of us assumed eventually Axe is gonna brick, right? Like that'll happen. Did it actually happen? I don't know.
Bricked worse. When I bricked, you guys just bricked worse, or it was like it was just like. It was like so quick it was over. No one remembered.
But yeah, we've been doing a little bit of our nostalgia as we usually do when we build into an episode. Loth also hasn't finished cooking.
We don't have
toasted his PC. Yeah, I'd love to schedule some stuff. I've talked about this in our private, formerly the Prog, now the Fail Portrayal chat to the Shadow Realm with Yi.
We most certainly have ideas, but it'll all come down to scheduling and time.
I'd love to figure something out in the new year, probably something in like a cube or chaos draft type format. I do not want to go back to normal Prog.
Honestly, a fucking Chaos Draft tournament sounds fucking awful, but amazing.
Yeah, that would require a lot of coordination with people, though. But like, I'd love to work up some cubes and shit. I mentioned some of my example, and this has been inspired by a Hard Like series I talked about. I think earlier this month he started doing the Master Cube, but like that, his ideas just give me dumb ideas. Like I already thought of a cube format called Thunderbolts and Lightning, and it's just thunder monsters and cards that have lightning in the name. What kind of dumb shit can we put in there? There's like 4 cards named Thunderbird. We could do some silly stuff. Probably would have to keep. I unfortunately actually probably have to keep Thundra out of it just because they're fucking good. But
no, I like trains show, but I like Thunder.
Oh, okay. You like that is fair. You also like trains.
Yo, can we put the ruler of Thunder in that pack?
Probably that would also be funny. I mean, he'd get picked last, I guess. But yeah. Like I said, there's I'd have to look at the card pools, but there's ideas for dumb shit.
Also, I'm sad that we never got to like far enough to the game where I reached my jank phase, where I just played my pet decks like fucking S-Force and like ninjas.
Yeah, sadly, all your pet decks were like MR5 decks.
Dumb shit. I just started playing
it's really okay. Bad decks. I mean, I never got to do. We talked about it when we did I think it was the Generator episode. It might have been the MathMech episode. Doing Mystic Fighters in our Prog series would have been so weird because it would be like me giving away all of my Generator and MathMech arms and legs for every single fucking Dragon Maid. And,
I'd be playing MathMech and maybe try Generator if I got lucky.
Loth would absolutely be MathMeching just, for the funnies. Dallas would probably stand Generator, and I think some other people would have, but, like, it would have just been a very interesting format.
I will say that the single thing I regret about Prog is that I was never actually able to show off the true bullshit I had brewed in the toolbox of my Dynamist deck. With all my variant exceeds.
Honestly, Mr. You can correct me if I'm just misremembering all this bullshit, but I just remember that you basically cribbed yourself because you didn't use half your card pool for some reason. I was misremembering. It wasn't like
didn't use half my card pool. I just ended up in situations where I like for the longest time I didn't have chaos cards, so I was just constantly.
This is another thing.
I was trying to find the best.
It's also bad. So.
The problem is that chaos isn't bad. The problem is that chaos is really good, and we were.
I hate chaos because I think it's overdone.
We were way too lenient on, like, hindsight's 2020. We were way too lenient on chaos. We let out Sed even post errata like mid GX.
We should have banned Sork and all.
Yes, no, we should have stuck to our guns and fucking killed Sed, definitely killed BLS. Thank God we kept him banned until, like, I think he was actually unbanned in, like, the Pen era.
I think BLS can come off, but I feel like Sork should not just get over
it. We all had a Chaos Sork in that game, in that series, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, yes. I believe you actually were missing some for a while.
We all had play sets.
I pulled 0 Chaos Sork in the big Chaos pack, which is why I was constantly on bullshit.
But like we should have fucking put chaos in the ground, put it in the different dimension. But Loth is finally here, so he can also react to the ban list, because that's where we're going to start. Martha's been very nice and just been on our Prog reminiscing, but today Konami announced a new ban list for the TCG effective Jan 1st of next year. If you haven't seen it already...
I've seen none of it.
Are we starting with bans, or are we going to start with the... Yeah.
Well, we're going to start at the top with Forbidden. Yeah, that's how it's formatted.
Okay.
So Loth's coming in fresh, Vesper's coming in fresh. Some of you in chat may be
also,
fresh.
Also, good to hear from you, Vesper. It's been a while.
Okay. Also, I don't think it'll come over because I got the bed music playing. But I apologize if you hear me being AFK and Gridania in the back. No, I will not change that. I'll apologize, but I won't change it. Okay, so I'm gonna do my swapsies. You
we got
looked
that
at
tomorrow.
Gay Eldlich.
This man, not happy with being AFK in Limsa, is now AFK in Gridania.
To pull up this one.
So he's probably listening to the twinning in the background.
Unfortunately, you're gonna see one.
Agito!
Yeah, you're gonna see one immediately. They got Agito.
Honestly, just don't look at the stream, guys. We'll just say it to you, so you can at least.
No. You can look at the stream. It's fine.
Okay, we're not gonna. Okay, I'm
gonna scroll slowly, but Agito is the alphabetically the first, so you're gonna see him right there. They got him.
He's
Ladies
right
and
there.
gentlemen, they got him. A terrible
Honestly,
shame.
we could just. I was just gonna go through the tweet because it's like organized by.
Nah, I like the slow scroll. Also, it should shock nobody. I've scrolled it down a little, and you will see. Actually, no, it is better. Sorry, I have to find.
Okay, so.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Let's put you in the top corner.
Oh, also, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, no. We got Kelbeck and Agito. The TCU has decided, you know what? Miller's bad, actually. We shouldn't have done that.
We milled too hard.
Are we gonna scroll down and see the other bigger one?
Oh yeah. No. I'll scroll a little so you can see the third one on this list. I flicked by it.
No.
But, hey, remember how we talked about that Mathfic episode about how Circular does a lot?
Wow.
Put him in the crowd. Which I don't know if that's deserved or not. Like, Circular's a really good card, but like, damn, dude, I guess we just don't play Mathmech.
Circular isn't in the Siju card. What is it doing here?
I
On
mean,
the
to
plus
be
side-
fair, Circle just kind of does everything, even in decks that aren't Mathmech.
It's true. Like, he's such an important boy to this whole Wombo combo. It's just very funny, like, that they got... Circular is like... I mean, plus diameter, but Circular is like the one card support that Konami did. They're like, oh, you guys aren't playing Mathmech? Here's your one card. You can now play this archetype.
It was a +2 card, essentially, in how good it was for the deck.
So look forward, I guess, to Mathmech Radius in 1 to 2 years when they need to make Circular but fair.
It basically
would
just
it
feel
be?
like it's actually gone full circle where they've just like, we need something good. Oh fuck, it's too good.
Oh, what are they gonna make
And then
Mathmech
no one
Radius?
plays math. No one
Yeah,
plays
that was the joke I made next. Sorry. So don't worry, title is still banned. And hey, here's one that everybody will be happy about. I've scrolled down. R.I.P. Bozo.
Yeah. Damn.
Wow, that took fucking forever.
It's about 2 years too late, probably, at least, at minimum, if not 3, honestly. But we finally realized generic Link 2s that summon from the deck are bad.
But now I guess.
But Omega, it's balanced. You have to send like 8 equip spells to summon any good cards, right?
Yeah, but if you're willing to take that bullet, it's fine.
Also, I've seen. Oh God, I remember the era of table 500s and like MBTs, TMTs of Isolde Send 4.
Isolde Send 4 through 9.
Oh yeah, no. If they were playing a really heinous brew, it's like 9 for Gearfried. But yeah, no. Isolde Send 4 was terrible. Unfortunately, with Infernoble Knights, the more common is Isolde Send 1, because there are good 1-stars in Infernoble, so it was bad, and I'm glad she's gone.
I can only hope that this is still applicable. I didn't see it.
Yeah, no, we're not in Xyz yet, but Ariser is still fucking banned. No changes to the Xyz.
I'm slightly sad for Zed because he actually had a Makonko deck, which is like, in Makonko, I think that's fair.
Don't worry, Makonko got something else. Is that everybody banned? Yeah, it was 4 bans, so Isolde straight to the jail, and we put Agito, Keldo, or Kelbeck. Keldo's fine. And Circular
We still got like 15 cards to go.
Nothing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just go
don't spoil it for us.
We're gonna do a double feature. They've gotten in here.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Oh,
I guess Robin will be happy.
Frame scraps a little. So, Harp Horror 1. You can now play Orcust.
Orcust 1.
Oh,
And yes,
hey, Redox!
title still banned, but Redox is free.
I see a new right below that. Who is that?
Oh, what's that? Rescue Ace Airlifter?
It's not the guy you think Fire Attacker. It's the other guy.
I do not know much about the racists.
It's not
Wait.
It's not the one
It's
you do on normal
Ares.
summon. I think it's the other one. I think.
Airlifter is the summon from hand, I believe. Is the have? I think
You have
it's
like
the
there's
Havis
like
type
3
effect.
of those though. They like 3 summon hand cards.
Let me
Yeah,
look up that
but
one and read it.
It's Airlifter is the
Surely, I'm just
consistency
gonna
one.
take a large sip of water real quick as I read the card.
Yeah.
It's a good card.
Okay, yeah, it's just adds a spell. Okay. Aspect monster effect. Okay, yeah, it's
It's
just
special on monster effect. Yeah, it's
it's
Havis.
shenanigans. Yeah, that's fine. That
It's
makes
not going to
sense.
kill Rescue Ace, especially because Promethean Princess, that Link 3 that got into Master Duel before it came out in paper, technically, which is a Fire Link 3. Since that's going to come out in the TCG eventually, that's probably a good idea to limit our Ace a little.
More just giving it a little slap on the wrist. I'm like
Yeah.
to take away some flexibility from the
Yeah, it's going to hurt their consistency, but all of your plays are still good. Like, they didn't actually hit your spell traps that matter. They didn't do anything about, your core card Hydrant, and didn't hit any of your big boys, but it will make the deck
I
less
forget the one.
consistent.
What's the one that you say during main phase you can basically set for rescue spell traps? It's not that one.
Oh god, what is that? It's the big guy.
I played it last night, but I don't remember.
I don't remember what his name
Technically,
is.
it's the second biggest guy.
I think he's supposed to be the boss. We'll talk about it eventually because those guys are a fucking deck build pack, but I don't remember what his name is right off the top.
I like rescue aids. They're just they're cool.
Also, if you too far, might be a spoiler for some plant stuff later. But if
Is
you
that a new Unchained card?
Yeah, it's one of the newer ones.
yeah, I think
Okay, so
Shamar,
maybe
yeah.
recognized.
So Unchained run a little wild. They decided to limit one of their good new cards. Turbulence, thank you, Mark.
I think Coder's sad about it, but whatever.
I mean, Unchained was a good deck, and there's a lot of other good decks coming out. And also, hey, Fire King support exists now. It's good.
Oh my god, it was a fire theme too. Oh my god.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of like. This is probably a very deserved hit. Like, it's not like you can't play it. You only get one, but like we need to limit some stuff. So this is aimed at the EU exactly.
Let's go!
Dries to 1,
Wow.
Sunvine Healer to 1.
Rip Bozo, the most boring plant deck.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't get rid of the base card.
No, I mean this just means that you can't loop the plant.deck stuff as much. You only get one healer, one dry ass.
I
So
don't
if
think
you
it hurts
break
Rika,
the combo,
though.
you can go out.
Rika gets to do its own thing.
Look, if there are 1 million Sun Avalon haters, I'm one of them. If there's one
If-
left, I'm one. If there's not, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the distance, Dallas's heart breaks.
I mean, he gets to play Rika.
Look, like there are plenty of great plant decks, but Sun Avalon is actually the most just. I cannot stand the deck. It does one combo line. Every
The
time.
Sun Avalon thing is like there's a like 5 or 6 ways to get to that line, but yes, it's very linear. The Rika Sun Avalon is specifically a variant where you get a lot of other flexibility, but I don't think this actually hurts those because you need the extra deck space anyway. But it is good to like make some of these stuff a little less consistent. Also, here's the crazy one. In synchro.
Yeah, guys, I think Loft left.
If Justigar. Uh-huh. Yeah? Uh-huh.
I think he rage. Okay.
No. He's resetting. I think he was having a problem.
Wait, hang
I
on.
thought he said he was done. Okay.
What,
I know. I think maybe his computer is done. Yep. See, he's there. He's rebooting.
Okay.
Also, there was a Discord update that I did earlier, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, I updated this call.
But Axe,
Oh,
if you're
okay.
concerned about people leaving, then maybe you should, express that by paying more attention to not talking over people rather than being sad about it afterward. Anyway, I'm not here to relitigate the Prague world. Ib to 1.
Ib. It's
You know, I hang on a second. Can we scroll back up a little bit? Can we just before we go any further? Can we
Yeah.
scroll back up?
What are you looking for?
The spells in the ban list. Hang on.
Oh, did you realize there's something that's not there anymore?
I think there's something missing, guys.
Well,
no.
hey, hi, well, let's
Oh,
scroll
let's-
down. Let me check. Let me check.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what's
We're later.
this?
Oh, there's a certain card. Oh no. Oh
So,
no.
this, by the way, is why Isolde is fucking dead. They decided
So
it's
so-
finally time. It's been 10 years.
So I want to say that. Remember when Change Your Heart came out to listen? It kind of did fucking nothing.
Okay,
Guys,
but
It's
Axe,
just fucking nothing.
Axe?
I want to tell you the time that I played competitive Yu-Gi-Oh when they for one format they decided What could go wrong if we
in 2013? Yeah, I know. It was really bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So I'm already thinking up all the ideas and ways I can play Snatch Steal again in fucking Morphtronics of all things.
Oh no, yeah, power tool shit. You can play this. Mikanko, I believe, can search equip spells. So, hey, you shouldn't feel bad, Mikanko, that you lost.
Also, somewhere in the ether, Robin's popping off because I see 2 floodgates.
Oh yeah, no. It's 3 actually. Let me scroll enough so you can see. We put Gozen, Rivalry, and Tikbu to 1. Thank God.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who's in charge of banning? It's like, did someone actually sneak into the stuff?
Unfortunately, anti-spell has not been on this added to this list, but I'm
God damn it.
I appreciate that we made an effort. Now you really have to pick one.
We put them to 1 as well, not 2. We put them to 1.
Yes.
I can finally hear Dallas stop saying just throw Tikbu every day.
Well, I mean, you still can. It's just a one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dallas isn't here, so I have to respect his opinion previously that he thought Tikbu was a better floodgate than those others. I'm here to tell you, Dallas is wrong. All floodgates suck ass. They suck ass for several reasons, but the main reason is that the way Gozen, Rivalry, and Tikbu work is you don't play them unless your deck doesn't give a fuck about them. So the fact that they are normally reciprocal doesn't matter.
I should respect Dallas's opinion, but fuck it.
It sucks butts.
Yo, malicious is still in the malicious zone, as he should be.
Okay,
but yeah, so we Snatch Steal is very interesting, but
can we go back to Ib, because I never got to ask, does anyone know what actual World Legacy cards are broken now?
I mean, it doesn't have anything to do
with
with
World Legacy. World Legacy cards that are broken.
You can get to search for the Legacy card when you summon her.
That part doesn't matter, I don't think.
Okay.
I don't. Marth walked us through how it was like an FTK or something. I don't actually think it involved her getting out there. Oh, also I forgot. MBT was wrong when he reviewed this earlier. He thought Ding Dong was dead, actually. No. 1 Ding Dong.
Yeah, 1 Ding Dong. I kind of forgot what Ib does. I was mostly just distracted by the fact that I looked at her when she's a fucking Keyblade warrior.
Yeah.
Alright, keep going.
Well, let me remind myself what all of Ib does, because I feel like I always fucking forget.
Ib it adds a World Legacy card, which adds a World Legacy card, and if the card that was synchro summoned is sent field to graveyard, you can summon a World Chalice from your deck, which probably is just
okay,
it's free mat. It's free material.
That's probably the problem.
Yeah.
So you get to bin a World Chalice monster. Also, she's easy to make because you can use a World Chalice Thermal monster as a tuner if you need to. You probably wouldn't, but you could. But if it's synchro summon, add a World
Legacy
card.
If you're really down bad, you can.
And you can summon a World Chalice from your deck, so it's just...
It's like a Succession.
Yeah, it's an immediate link climb. Okay, Succession is the rough card. All right, yeah. Yeah, no. Okay, so that's why she was hit. She's just like exponential pluses on link material.
The target one monster grave special summon to a zone your link monster points to, which is just anything.
Yeah, so you synchro Ib, you search Succession, you link her off for whatever, and that means you get to special from deck and your Succession is live. So yeah, this is just... I don't know if a lot of decks can fit her into their combo. She is a, Sync 5, but this is just yet another way you can easily climb into bullshit like Boral Load, Boral End.
It's very specific for like link-based combos, essentially. Yeah. Unless, I'm sure there are other combos that can do because there's plenty of World Legacy cards that have been printed over time.
Yeah,
but the main Wombo combo was Ib, Succession, link off, and then Succession, something else back, and just...
Okay, so that's something to probably watch out for, but like I said, the main thing is that sounds like that's just an easy way to stack up to a really annoying Link 4 or Link 5, but there's so many decks that can make access code talker. Every motherfucker can make access code talker, but yeah, Snatch Steal 1, crazy.
Alright,
goes in Rivalry and Tikbu to good, thumbs up. Do that more.
I guess some of your decks have more side deck space now.
But let's look at the semi-limit. I think I can get all of the new ones on screen. There's 3 more cards in the semi-limit zone.
3?
Pank?
Oh my god!
Yes!
What, Terratop? Hang on. Well,
Terratop to 2, Pank to 2.
Hang on a second.
Also, EP Memory, Sleepy Memory to 2 from 3. Runic Fountain still at 2, Lightning Storm still at 2, Engage still at 2. Please keep Engage at 2. Please.
Yeah.
Especially considering something else later.
Fine. Yeah. Like, it's again like
everyone plays Fenrir anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Penkra bottom.
Which, by the way, I because I know even though Arise Heart is fucking dead and he deserves it, but I know that the TCG doesn't have Fenrir Fenrir's at 3. And spoilers for future, Unicorn is now at 3 because you don't see him on the semi-limit list.
Fucking Caesar, making a joke, but probably forgets how to sleep.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he still has 2 more chances, but I really agree with MD's, Fenrir at 2, just because I have realized how easy it is to slot that motherfucker into everything, and I don't know if it's okay. Like, I play...
Maybe it should go to 1 because, honestly, I've seen this before. As someone that's, like, read the Crash cards, if it's at 1, it still works perfectly fine in cache, but nowhere else.
Yeah, basically, because at 2, you can still summon Fenrir, search Fenrir, as just more material. I also love, by the way, that people sometimes forget how Fenrir works and don't realize that his Cyber Dragon effect to summon himself is not a once per turn. Whenever you don't control monsters, you can summon him. I've had people compulse back my Fenrir and go, okay, I'll do it again.
Oh, no.
But yeah, Penk is great to mix into this. I don't know a lot of... Despite watching, like, every week of the MCS series, I don't really understand a lot about what Pearly does, other than just... They summon a couple guys, they, like, excavate, like, 6 cards, and then they make a fucking huge Evolution Xyz monster.
Pearly feels like an extreme tempo deck.
Yeah. So giving their consistency with Sleepy a little is probably fair. So let's look at what is now unlimited. Let me see if I can get everything on there. Because it's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. Archfiend, we're just... you're fine.
Yeah,
Archfiend,
fuck
you're
it.
fine. Mind Control, Desires, Judgment, Sprite, Starter. Yo, 3 Upstart, hang on.
Yeah, 3 Upstart.
Yeah, that's the crazy
Sorry.
one.
The thing that Moth linked, I'm just reading that title.
Also, no, I mean, like, we shouldn't say also. Desires has been bouncing, like, up and down, semi-limited and limited for a while. It's crazy.
Wait a second. I'm not happy with the Sprite card coming out.
Elf is banned. Don't worry about it.
Still.
My problem is, I've always thought this thing is, like, honestly, mind control, like, nowadays is not that as good.
Yeah, mind control doesn't matter.
I'm concerned about Upstart and everyone just now, like, going, I don't know, being, I guess, efficiency brained and just playing 3 Upstart every day ever.
The thing is that it's not efficiency brained because they changed the time
You'll
rules
lose
since
for
then.
time. You'll lose for time.
Yeah, they changed the time rules since then, and while that's not perfect, it does kind of add a little bit of an axis to burn and life point cards. If you triple Upstart turn 1 and you still can't win, you will lose because your opponent has 3k more life points than you. So, like, not every deck I think is going to be able to fit triple Upstart. You will see some jokers who are running 43 cards, though, and cards, 41, 42, and 43 are Upstart just for the funny. We'll see if we actually do
about
the
Judgment,
37.
but it's also Spellbook, and Spellbook can't do too much.
Yeah, Judgment is good, but I think the OCG's had Judgment at 3 for, like, a whole year now, and it hasn't done anything. There's so much other crazy shit.
I mean, yeah, like I don't think Judgment's gonna actually do anything, but it just a tingle in the back of my brain says this is not gonna end well somehow.
Yeah, it's one of those
Your
things
spidey
where, like,
senses are
you
tingling.
have a fear because basically right now we're almost back to full-powered ruler and full-powered spellbook format. Spellbooks have no hits. The only ruler who is still banned is Tidal, thank God.
Honestly, I'm kind of curious who would actually... Sorry, let go.
Filthy Casual brings up a great point. Fucking Sky Striker is gonna love.
Yeah, Sky Striker will run 3.
But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, like...
Oh yeah, for sure.
Anyone actually play Spellbook nowadays?
I mean, nobody does
It's like
because
a
it's not
total try.
good. I mean, you can try with 3
Dallas.
Judgment. Dallas would try with 3 Judgment, but it just doesn't... I don't think there's enough, like, spellcaster good stuff out there.
So
Like,
who's gonna play Infernity again? I mean, I guess you can, but I don't think you're gonna win much.
Again, like it's the PTSD of seeing these decks at full power. You're kind of like, it probably won't do anything, but just that little
check
inkling in the back of your brain
list.
says like, oh, I don't.
Yeah,
I feel
launcher
like
is
that's
still
I think
limited. So
I feel like Rescue
Yeah.
is kicking its head.
Dallas's launcher is still out for debate.
Launcher is still at 1, but 3 Archfiend makes the deck a lot more consistent, and they have gotten some legacy support. Like, honestly, I think this is just the case where, like, I feel like Konami is like, okay, it's a new year. We're leaving the 25th anniversary year. What can we do? What actually matters? Infinity?
New year, new me, fuck Shizu.
No, I think that is genuinely... Konami has basically said, nah, that was a mistake. For the competitive format, I'm like, if it's funny, but for the competitive format, nah, we shouldn't have did that. Those go to jail.
It's very unfortunate because I do love these Shizu cards in, like, the reboot Shizu cards in concept.
Yeah, in a vacuum, they're funny. And I would love a format where I could actually, like, I built before they banned all the good tier, well, not all the good tier ones. I think you can still play one Kit Kalos, but they banned several of your starters and, like, everything's limit 1. But I actually built in Master Duel Dragon Maid tier. It was a rip-roaring fun time with you know, millers and shufflers and shit. Like, it's funny, and it was good, but, like, also, those were probably the single longest turns of my life, was playing tier Dragon Maid Shizu.
Yeah, like, I think if it's possible, we could put the Shizu cards in the cube and they'd be fine with the proper tuning, and, like, they aren't going to do horse shit. But in the Wild West that is competitive Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah,
Shizu cards were never a good idea.
If we put them in, like, a cube where it was only just, like, Earths or Fairies or, like, anime retrain cards, you know?
Actually, if we did only cards, honestly, if we did a cube that's only shufflers and miller cards, so it's entirely just deck per format.
The light sworn. Yeah, no, that would be funny. See who decks the fuck out first. I guess we'd have to put grass in there, too, just for the funny.
All cards interactive, you putting cards back into your deck or cards out of your deck into your graveyard.
That could be funny just because there'd be a lot of people going ham. But yeah, that's the ban list. And yeah, it's pretty wild. There's a lot of changes in here. And none of these are like crazy. Like, Snatch Steel's everybody's gonna get the side eye because, as like Visper mentioned, literally like 10 years ago, they took it off for one format. It was a bad idea. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like exponentially crazier. But also, there's like 9 million ways to get rid of it still. And it's Snatch Steal is interesting. First of all, Snatch Steal should never go above 1. You should never be able to like hard draw Snatch Steal guaranteed. That would suck. But compared to like Change of Heart, like Snatch Steal does end whenever you remove the Snatch Steal, and there's a decent amount of like negation or spell trap popping that exists fairly generically. Like, we have to remember that shit like Barone exists in this format like forever, basically.
Yeah, to give an idea of the game space when Snatch Steal was unlimited, even though it was like mid Pend era, every single deck, the moment Snatch Steal got unlimited, was like, okay, I'm gonna play 3 Hidden Armory now.
Yeah.
And Snatch Steal. And nothing, and like that's just like I'm just playing 3 Hidden Armory, 2 Hidden Armory, and Snatch Steal as just like a self incorporated engine to get Snatch Steal.
And
because who cares if I don't know from it if I can just take your monster?
The thing is, like, right now, I think that doesn't matter because technically you can do that already. Since Triple Tactics Talents exists, which is just Snatch Steal if you want it to be.
Oh yeah.
Not Snatch Steal, Change of Heart. Among other things. But second, also, since they did unban Change of Heart to 1, you can play Triple Tactics Thrust, which can search you any normal spell you like. So, like, we already have the engine to just get, if your opponent does the thing, to always get to change anyway, so it'll be interesting to see how this works. Like, I'm still not, like, Snatch Steel's not, like, a fun card, so, like, I'm okay with it being dead forever, but it's also probably not the worst. We'll just have to see what dumb shit we get to.
If it doesn't do anything, it can stay at 1 forever for all I care.
Yeah, it can stay at 1 with all the other cards that I desperately want to stay at 1 forever. Looking at you, Card Destruction and... Terraforming, probably a good one. Foolish Burial, definitely can't have more copies of. Monster Reborn, yeah. Gold Sark, shit like that. I really wish they'd put Called By to at least 2, but that's just me.
Called By at 2 was honestly, like, one of those few cards, like, at 3 it's too much. At 1 it's just sacky.
Yeah,
like, there are a small number of cards, as much as we disparaged the semi-limit list in our prog format, in real Yu-Gi-Oh! 2 can be used for very specific cards like that.
That's the thing I think that Master Duel specifically has taught me having to play, because obviously, while it's not pure OCG leaning, it does lean much more on the OCG. the game has been out for nearly 2 years and they still haven't freed my boy Dark Dragoon. But they won't ban Max C with a 92% play rate anyway. But like I've actually genuinely come to be like, oh yeah, no, this semi-limiting cards works because it changes the math, and like sometimes I run 2 on my own just for ratios. Like I don't think I usually play 3 imperm in most decks. I usually play the 2 as like, you know, cards 39 and 40. There are still some limits and semi-limits I don't agree with. Don't know why they let me play 2 anti-spell fragrance in lab. Also, God, Konami, please, you have to ban EEV. You can't let me play 1 EEV in lab. I get to search it, and I can recycle it forever. I only need 1. What are you laughing at now, Loth?
Having fun over there, Loth?
Oh, yeah, hold on, let me just post this in a fucking 14 channel.
He's just been browsing fucking Twitter. Oh, okay. Great. Anyway, back to EFP.
Yeah.
Also, Marth did link a list that explains how it works. Speaking of which, we've been going for, what, like, wow, 40 minutes. Jesus. Well, it was a big ban list.
There was a lot to break down with this ban list, to be fair.
Yeah, those are some whack-ass changes.
Yeah, there are a lot of left hooks out of nowhere for this ban list.
All right, I did prepare an Adamancipator list in case as backup, because Eldlich is, despite the fact that this golden fucker was a menace for like, I want to say at least a year in real life, probably longer, and about as long in Master Duel when it came out. Like just before he got power crept in MD as well. Like, there's not a lot of cards in this archetype, which is probably why Eldlich is so good, because it's a very minimal package, and then you just cram the rest with whatever zombie shit is good, which is a lot. There's a lot of good zombie shit.
The main thing for meta Eldlich in TCG especially was it was Conch, Eldlich, Golden Droplet, and that was really it. Like some people teched out other shit, but it was like Droplet, or I forget them off my head now, but it was like 4 or 5 cards that you just put in as an engine to anything else.
All right, well, let's pull up the original card art, and I'll also grab the alt art. Here he is, the original Golden Boy. You've all seen this boy. Because I still run into people running Eldlich in MD sometimes.
I mean, yeah, like he's been power creeped, but just by nature of how Master Duel is the wild, like, we call TCG the Wild West, but Master Duel is Battle Royale.
Yes, no, Battle Royale is the way to put it. The Master Duel ban list is pure chaos mode. They like unlimited like all the Dragon Rulers just for like shits and giggles and other weird shit. But also there's like Konami refuses to give you the 30 free dust if they ban a UR, and so like they hit diameter instead of circular and other weird shit, and it's like it's just pure chaos. Like I hope that they will bite the bullet and just realize that like it's not proper for Max C to be played as much as it is. Like, he's going to have a crazy high, like, literally probably going to have a high finisher rate, because I bet activating Max C is probably the last play of a lot of games. The play percentage is crazy. I think it's still, like, 92 plus or 93 right now. But I think Konami doesn't do that, despite the fact that people are literally saying it every time they do a survey, because they know that means every single player gets, like, 90 ultra rare dust. I think they should just suck it up, because they overly inflate the rarities in the fake game, just like they do in the real game anyway. I still haven't built Vanquish Soul in Master Duel, because I need 3 copies of Stake Your Soul, which is an Ultra. All right, and I'm going to try and...
The wheel of fate is turning.
I'm going to try and grab...
Tale of Souls and Verses.
Okay, so this is going to be, for some reason, the wiki...
Stake Your Soul is a very good fake fighting game.
I know, right?
Online.
It is.
That is exactly what it'd be like in Battle Stars.
Why did we make it? Okay, all right. He's going to be a little pixelated because I had to shrink this down a lot, but you saw him in the thumbnail. So this is the alt art. So honestly, I know we started Fail Portrayal as a series of poking fun at stuff that is goofy, but Eldlich has good art design. They've actually done a very good job, I think, of painting like how gold and lustrous he is. All of his jewels are really shiny.
Just in case it wasn't obvious to people by the time we get to more cards, It's El Dorado. It's El Dorado
Yeah.
and the lich
Magnificent?
of high fantasy lore that everyone like the undead king. The undead king that never dies.
Yes, he is undying.
Golden.
There is also with the Eldlichers, there is a an alchemy sub theme because they are based off of 3 of the 4 coloring processes. Funnily enough, despite the fact that there's a lot of gold, they don't have the yellowing elixir. So there's your future Eldlicher support when you get the 4th one. This is also why I made a joke in the video description about more like Eldlich Ring. That's also not true. Secret Slayers was like late 2019, early 2020.
I will say one thing just to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Why does this man have such a waspy waist?
I know. I mean, I thought it partially because of MBT's brain hacking, but also like it is one of the most obvious things about his original art is like, because like otherwise, look at how fucking ripped this guy is. Like his golden armor is like showing every single muscle. His shoulders are huge.
It's very. It's honestly, it feels like the guy they're kind of inspired by like Doctor Doom or like other like comic supervillain characters.
100%. 100%.
He's a
like,
ripped twink.
Why, yeah, no, he's very twunk. Why is his waist so pinchable? I guess.
Also, I just noticed.
He's a Zombo?
In his outstretched hand and his normal he's got the lovely rings of blue, red, and green.
Yeah, he's got a lot of.
Honestly,
a lot of
I
cool
don't.
stuff.
Honestly, I don't know if he really is. He could also just be like a Thousand Sun, just be like literally like magic dust inside of armor.
Also, I usually like to do these kinds of little lore notes. So, Eldlich is a name that is not localized at all. It is Eldlich in the OCG, which is it's a portmanteau of Eldritch and Lich, and the fact that it has Eld in it also goes to the El Dorado thing we mentioned earlier.
So in all honesty, I made a mention and known how much I dislike playing against Eldlich. I love this guy's design.
Yeah,
so
like
good.
for all of the nonsense that Eldlich has done, the card art is fucking awesome. It's sick.
Eld is pretty. Like I said, I have nothing against the archetype as it like appears. It's just that I have been fucking. Like I said,
dumpstered on.
Yes, no.
Zed, that's so true.
Everybody played this in Master Duel, like when it first came out. This was one of the power decks because you couldn't play, like, did we have full Sword Soul when Master Duel launched? Like, I don't think so. I don't remember.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, so like,
no. What it was fucking Eldlich and fucking Blue Eyes because everyone under the sun.
Yeah, I mean, everyone under the sun still plays Blue Eyes, but that's like. Just I think that's how we're doomed, and I feel like this is another, just to put another weird aside in here, but like I understand that like there are certain talking heads in the Yugi sphere who are like, this Platinum Rare Dark Magician is the dumbest thing Konami's ever sold. No, they started with Blue Eyes, and because there are hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of Kaiba cosplayers and Blue Eyes simps, because Blue Eyes is a woman. That probably actually sold some. And so Konami was like, oh, people like this shit. And they did the next most iconic monster, Dark Magician. And suddenly, now that it involves Yugimoto, you don't care. This is Dark Magician oppression. Also, people are also hating on the stainless steel god cards. I also don't think that's worth it. Those are cool. Those are like alternate art styles.
What was it? I'm just thinking of just like what people would say in response to that would probably be, yeah, but I can't fuck Yugi. It would probably be their response.
But Yugi
people
is
are
very
down
fuckable.
bad with Kaiba.
Especially since he's probably like in his 30s now.
Nah, let's not play that weird game. But
let's
anyway,
not dance
Yugi has reached twink death stage. We can say.
But also there is lore for Eldlich. It's very simple. It's exactly what you'd expect. Once upon a time in the Golden Land,
Dragon Maid.
some guys made a lot of elixirs of immortality. Eldlich ate all of them. Literally, he ate all of them. But so he is the immortal king of the cursed land, which they did the thing from Full Metal Alchemist. They put all the goop into the sacred stone.
Gonna say it, but yeah.
They put all the souls and goop into the red rock, and then Eldlich ate the rock. And in fact, technically, I believe the Crimson Immortality Stone is supposed to be the fucking red shell that's right in the center of his body there.
Yeah. I believe it gets bigger in the next version of him.
Yeah, and so
like,
he's
wielding,
just
like, a weapon.
he's just immortal and chilling in his cursed land where everybody is gold and dead, and adventurers, I guess, come to take his shit.
I do believe he. No one talks about the shitty fusion, but he does go mad with power or something.
Yes, something like that.
Can you imagine he goes mad with power and the alt art is him like afterwards? He's like, oh shit, I gotta rebuild this again.
I mean, yeah, that could be it, because he's just chilling in the ruins where everything's fucking blown up, so that might be it. And this alt art is like one of the alt arts of all time. This is rad.
Yeah.
No, it's fucking gorgeous, honestly.
We get more of his boots that don't make sense, but I do still kind of like them, even though they have like knee pad blockers.
Yes, he has the things we make fun of. He has high heels for no reason. He's wearing riding boots, despite the fact that there's not even a horse in any of the Eldlich art, I don't think.
I think he ride the lion.
Look at
and
that
he's got
fucking
knee blades with Konami
beautifully
orcs in them.
beautifully drawn sunset in the background. They didn't have to go this hard for the alt art, but they did.
Yeah, no, I appreciate this kind of shit.
Yeah, like,
and I appreciate even though I personally hate seeing Eldlich hit a board of Yu-Gi-Oh! I like Eldlich a lot more than them doing dumb shit like they announced they're doing a Rhoda alt art with fucking Ray and Rose on it.
You know, somebody just kind of came to me.
Oh.
Is that real?
Yeah, that's a real thing they announced. It's one of the last cards they're doing for the manga.
I think I just noticed something about the art, actually.
What's up?
You can notice the rubble in the art on the right. You actually notice the rubbles. I think the art's depicting basically the moment of his creation, and I think then like the other art's just like 2 minutes later, where he's just kind of sitting in all the rubble.
I will say though, as much as we harp on some like Konami design tropes, Eldlich is an example that you can do to make them look cool. It's just really hard to.
Yeah,
yes,
and
he is over-designed, but correctly.
Yeah,
yes.
Eldlich has symmetry. He's not minimalist, but like yes, he has weird shoulder pauldrons, but they form symmetry with his weird knee blades and his little head crest. So it works. It's silly, but it works.
Intentional.
Yeah,
it feels intentionally designed.
Also, he's got look at this big purple cloak. You just know that he swooshes that dramatically as he throws his wine glass.
His big purple cloak that also has like a secondary sash behind it.
Yeah,
and also has like a hood. Can you imagine that thing trying to fit over that weird Goldman on his head?
And also,
he's such a weird mix of like he's like a mixture of like conquistad. He's like a weird mix of like Templar occultism, Mayan and or I guess Spanish, and then conquistador.
No, I think he's very Mayantech or Aztec in design. Like he's got some the swirlies and some of these like rounded edges.
Purely based on the face of his helmet alone, I'm like, this is just a serious Kamen Rider boss.
Yeah, it can be tricky to meld all the different Mesoamerican aesthetics together, but it can work.
Yeah.
When you do it well, like what's happening with this.
Yeah, and I think like the little like gem touches to his like inner scarf and his little jeweled bracelets, like that all works. That doesn't get too far away from the design language. So what does Eldlich do? You probably know, chat, but in case you don't, Eldlich the Golden Lord is a light zombie, level 10. He has 2,500 attack and 2,800 defense.
Don't worry, he gets bigger.
Yeah, and you may think for a level 10, oh, that seems small. No, don't worry.
He comes back from the dead stronger.
First effect, you can send this card and a spell trap from your hand to the graveyard, target a card on the field, send it to the graveyard. Fuck you, not destroying it. So he has a hand pitch effect to unbrick yourself, which is part of why we'll talk about this as we go through the other cards and the spell traps as well, because we definitely have to mention all the trap monsters because there's not a lot of monsters in this archetype otherwise. But
I think it's just him in his fusion version.
Yeah,
right?
That's the only normal monsters for now. Eldlich and the surrounding like Eldlixir Golden Land stuff was tailor-made in a lab to combat normal problems like deck build archetypes have. Oh, what's this? Your centerpiece is a level 10 guy? Well, he has an automatic unbrick effect, which matters because literally the rest of his archetype is spell traps. So you're gonna have the spell traps to discard. Now, if this guy's in your graveyard, you can send a spell trap you control to the graveyard, add this card to your hand, then special summon a zombie from your hand, and if you do, until the end of your opponent's turn, It gains 1,000 attack and defense and can't be destroyed by card effects. You can use each effective Eldlich once per turn. So yeah, while you can hypothetically use Eldlich to get other zombies out of your hand, you almost never do that. You bin Eldlich through some arcane means, Unizombie, just pitching him from his hand effect, Foolish Burial. I believe there's some other in-archetype effects that can get him into your graveyard, and God knows there's lots of zombie stuff to fucking put him in grave. And then you just get rid of a spell trap. This, by the way, is also why Eldlich decks, especially in Master Duel, were super annoying, because you can play Floodgates and then use Eldlich to send them away when you don't need them.
Essentially, like the pure Eldlich build is like 15 Eldlich cards and 35 Floodgates.
Yeah, all the most heinous Floodgates you can fit, because you can absolutely play shit like, I mean, honestly, you usually only need Eldlich on board, so you can probably play like Teekboo if you really wanted. You're going to send it anyway. You can play, Goes in Rivalry. You could play Skill Drain, you can play Anti-Spell Fragments. You don't care. You'll just send it to the graveyard with your Eldlich guy, and then you're free.
That happened to me.
I made an observation, I guess, of the card effect. Because I know you get
coming back stronger.
No, I think it's meant to be. I think it's the idea that he basically drank a potion, it killed him, and he came back stronger as an actual lich.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. That's
yeah.
Obviously, like, he keeps the zombie, like, stat line all the time, but yeah, no, I think that is the point, is that, like, before he consumed the stone, he was just a normal guy. 25-28's a pretty normal, like, centerpiece monster stat line.
A normal sorcerer of mighty power.
But, it's similar to Dark Magician. But when you proc his effect and you do the thing where he comes out of the grave, he is, 3,500, 38, and can't be destroyed by card effects. Fuck you. Like, it's mean.
He's immortal now.
Summon Limit, that's another dumb good one you can play. Yeah, so, and this is probably why I think that myself and a lot of other people just got tired of seeing him, because intrinsically, Eldlich is already a really annoying guy. He becomes very big for, like, 2 whole turns, and he can't be destroyed. So if you didn't, like, pre-sideboard against him, he can kick your ass pretty good. But also the fact that a lot of decks pre-sided, because there's no siding in Master Duel, which is a terrible shame. That's another thing I would do differently about a Prog series if I did it again. I would always allow side decking. It is wild that we didn't do that for, like, 2 whole seasons, basically.
Well, the main situation, the main issue of the whole thing was just because of early DM. Games can go either 6 minutes or 50 minutes, and we did not want to risk the coin flip of getting a best of 3 that goes for 4 hours.
Yeah, but I think there could be some. There could be some other structural changes that could speed that along.
Yeah.
Especially because I wouldn't want to. That's another thing. I would not want to run just normal DM all the way through again.
Because you're the one mostly editing it, you'd have to sit through that entire.
Well, yeah, but like listen, it's funny to get your Pot of Greeds and your Raigekis and your Dark Holes and play your Chaos, but like, I feel like the game has gotten so far away from that shit that I'm just like, ugh, I don't like early DM like kitchen sink Yu-Gi-Oh. It sucks.
The only deck that was good from early DM that we can all say with solidarity is Mystic Shine Ball Turbo, right?
The world's
remembering Robin do that.
That was me.
No, it was Vesperi. Yeah,
Robin. I know. I'm joking.
Well,
do you remember the joke that you and Robin are just the same people?
Vaguely.
We did that for a little bit, but it didn't work out because Vesper was in the game, and then Robin would be sitting in the sidelines, and we'd yell at him. But yes, we mentioned this earlier. We spoiled it. There's a fusion version. Meet the bigger Eldlich.
He hung.
Yeah, so his stone has become like a galaxy brain swirl. He is turning into a pendulum dragon, I think, right now.
He is becoming a worse design, yes.
Yes. Because his face things, both his little, like, circle and his horns are getting way too big. He has double shoulder pauldron spike things. Like, he's getting embiggened, and it's bad. Also, his proportions are, like, so scronkled right now. What position is this man in? Like, his knees are, like, up where his hands are.
He just has no torso.
Yeah. There's parts of this I like that because he got larger, his, like, cloak is getting more tattered. That's neat, but, like, Nah, it's not great. He's not fun to look at.
There's a lot of interesting ideas happening here, but it's missing the mark. It is missing the perfect golden ratio that the Golden Lord had.
Sorry, I was drinking some water. But yeah, this guy's a guy, and he's a fusion guy, which is why you've never seen him. Not that, like, I appreciate that they made him, because there are a lot of decks that have, like, no extra deck, like, inherent in them, and honestly, I almost feel like those decks are worse in a meta sense. Like, they're more annoying because you can just put whatever back there. And when you have to use some of your extra deck space, at least for, like, archetype stuff, that makes you be a little more nuanced and controlled.
I'm not sure here once more, but for all the Digimon people, this is just Lucemon Satan mode.
Kind of see it.
I could see this guy being a Digimon.
I'm gonna post the picture into Fail Portrayal.
Sorry.
But
I just want to say, like, I wish this form looked better. It works as if, like, this is, like, basically what Kaiju sized, or, like, I guess if he was the final boss of a RPG, this is, or I guess he's the bonus boss of an RPG, this is his second phase.
I mean, he's just a normal Elden Ring boss. I think we can make that joke.
Given big Morgoth energy.
He's just for some reason, everybody but you in a Souls-like is twice your height at least.
Well, technically, then when you kill them, they become more human-sized. Yeah.
I'm trying to read ahead. I don't see how you summon him in archetype unless you just have to poly him.
I think one of the newer cards.
One of the elixirs takes fusion spells.
One of the elixirs does the thing.
It's I don't remember if it's an Elixir. It might be one of the new Golden Land cards. But yeah, I think they've got like a. It might be like their continuous spell lets you fuse. I think they got a weird thing.
We'll get there.
We'll figure it out. I do have all the spells in the list because they're all important.
There is one thing about this art I appreciate, which is despite for some reason him getting bigger, the cloak also gets bigger and more damage.
Yeah, I like the tattered. So this guy also has an interesting name. They translated it as Eldlich the Mad Golden Lord. Pretty simple. Eldlich the Mad. So in Japanese, though, they did the funny thing with they used, furigana and, regular kana. So his name is Ogankyo Eldorichi. So Eldlich the Golden Madness. But also could be written as El Rey Conquista Eldlich. El Rey Conquista Eldlich. So the King Conqueror Eldlich. I guess they decided to drop the Spanish effect for the TCG and just use the literal name as, Eldlich, the Mad Golden Lord.
At least he wasn't Eldorichi, the Golden Lord.
Yes.
Oh god, yeah, just with the R's and everything.
Well, this ancient callback to Fushio Richi,
which was supposed to be Immortal Lich.
Yeah.
But Upper Deck was bad at this.
Yeah.
So Eldlich the Mad is a level 10 light zombie fusion monster.
He's the same super type as Eldlich.
Yeah. He has level 10, again, like I said. They did scronkle the stats around, though, so he's 38 attack and 3,500 defense. So still bigger than Eldlich, even under his own effect.
Unfortunately, it won't matter.
Yeah. And his materials are 1 Eldlich monster, so Eldlich, and 1 level 5 or higher zombie monster. So normally that would be okay, but again, we've talked about this. Fusing in this archetype is weird. His effects are, its name becomes Eldlich the Golden Lord on the field. He can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, so he's like a soft towers, not quite unaffected, but battle or card effects, nah. You can tribute 1 zombie monster, target a face-up monster your opponent controls, take control of it, but it can't attack or activate its effects this turn. You can use this effect of Eldlich once per turn. So, okay, I see what they're going for, right? This is an Eldlich that is even bigger than Eldlich, and he can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. Cool, great. I'm fairly certain, as we discussed, when this guy came out, because this was like Blazing Vortex, yeah, this was early 2021. I think we weren't that far from when Change actually got off. Was that last year or 2 years ago?
Last year.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but like the ability to take a card your opponent controls with all these stipulations, I mean, brain control and mind control were at 1 at least at this time. It's so much easier because you have all the main deck space to just play cards that steal. I think by 2021, TTT would have been out, or very close to being out. So,
check that real quick.
There's no fucking reason to play this guy. Why would you tribute one of your zombie monsters to take control of your opponent's monster when you can't attack or activate its effects?
A triple attack was out several months before this card.
Yeah, no, it
came out in August of 2020.
Yeah, you would just play the 3 triple attack. There's no reason to play this guy if you want to steal monsters. And it just negs you for no reason. So, like, it's cute, but I think this is one of those cases where Konami kind of misunderstood what the deck was about and just, like, was like, oh, well, we'll just make Eldlich but bigger, I guess?
I have been fuckled by this guy before, but usually in very niche situations.
That's the thing. Like, he can come up, and, like, you might play him in deck if you have the space just because, but you'll probably go into him one every, like, 40 games.
Yeah, it'll be like some weird case where, like, your normal Eldlich is, like, negated and something, and, like, you've already got one of your trap monsters out on the board, so there's, like, there's nothing for you to do, and you have to, like, actually be able to attack or something, so you just make the big asshole. All right, now we're going to talk about spell traps for a while, because that's all that's left in this archetype. Though some of them are monsters. But first, let's talk about the field spell. This is the Cursed Eldland.
It's El Dorado, baby. That's what it is.
It's a city of gold. There's a big red light in it.
It's anime El Dorado.
All the songs from that movie play in your head right now.
Also, once again, I know it's weird for me to be the guy doing the Souls-like reference, but, like, I find it very funny because I've never thought about Eldlich in this context, but knowing that he is alchemy-themed, I'm like, this is very funny in a post-Elden Ring world.
It is very Anor Londo as well, and just in a pure Souls aesthetic.
Yeah, because it's like it's a lot kind of Eldritch too, because it's like
it's
the immortal skeleton guards of like the root-like legs and all like the weird spine-like roots that grow everywhere, and then the ominous city in the background.
Yeah.
I'm recalling that bit from the Happy Souls. I know this is hard to believe, but we're actually standing in Anor Londo.
But yeah, so like that, and Elden Ring is obsessed with like the Golden Order and stuff like that, and then there's the Blood guys who are all red. So like it's a funny bit of parallel thinking. It's not literal because, like I said, this was early 2020. It reminds me of like, and actually I don't. Miss Bear, where are you at in Final Fantasy 14?
I'm not. I'm not caught up with like the super current patch stuff, but I'm like I guess 2 or 3 content patches behind.
Okay,
like,
so you're in Endwalker.
All right. For expansion.
All right, I'm still finishing Shadowbringers, so just
I'm way ahead.
But I just wanted to say we talked about this with Generator, where it was funny because like the Generator cards came out in Japan like a month after Shadowbringers dropped, and there are actually some like funny aesthetic parallels. Like if you look at Frody of Swords Blown Up, he kind of looks like a Sin Eater. And I'm just like, this is just a funny case of, like, our brains were in the same place in 2019. Because obviously, the way development works, nobody at Konami made an archetype in a month. Especially not if they were playing Shadowbringers. But yeah, it's always funny when you get these kind of, like, aesthetic parallels.
What's up, Max?
It happens very frequently, especially in like the Japanese gaming fiction space. And it's really funny. Like people make jokes about the whole JRPG, you gotta kill God, but if you really want to get into the weeds, there's plenty of articles and essays about where that comes across from, and
there's a very huge cultural thing.
That's a diatribe that is way too out in the weeds.
Yeah. So
long story short, there is a lot of just religious and cultural themings that happen that are not exclusive to Japan, but very unique because of how insular it was for so long.
Extra long story.
2 things.
Yes, go for it. X.
1, the Japanese culture does a reference, and how it's usually very indirect unless you already know what it's talking about, which is a lot of why certain topics come up a lot in a lot of Japanese media continuously. Because they know the problem with their society is just no one's doing anything about it. Another thing, I mean, it's less that they're obsessed with the Golden Order, it's more, theologically, it's physics. and physics has been broken continuously by 6 different things.
All right, we didn't really need the second thing. Was not really necessary. I mean, like the Golden Order is part of the vibe, and so it's like it's baked into the aesthetics. Anyway, I understand there's a lot of great big metaphors in Elden Ring, but we're not actually here to talk about that one. We'll save that for a future one. So here, this is Cursed Eldland. It's your field spell.
It's a continuous field. It's a continuous spell. It's a field spell. It's a field spell.
Yeah, it's like it's not actually goes in your field slot, but it plays the role of your field spell. Do they have? No, I think even Seven Cities a field spell? I don't remember. Eldlich is one of those decks where, like, I feel like they should have a field spell. I don't remember if they got it out of the way yet. But no, this
Seven Cities is still a goal. Is still a continuous.
Yeah, so they have like 2 continuous spells that probably should be field spells, but
that is also why I could not find it, because it was not listed in the Eldlich archetype.
Yeah,
that's why I couldn't find that card.
I had to go through a couple of hoops on the wiki to double check everything. But yeah, so Cursed Eldland is functionally your field spell, just you can't search it with terraforming, I guess, is what we're going for. So it says you can't declare attacks except with zombie monsters, so, you know, you're playing Eldlich. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. Pay 800 LP, add Eldlich monster or a golden land spell trap from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard, send an Eldlich monster or a golden land spell trap from your deck to your graveyard. Hey, remember how I said how fucking easy it is to get to Eldlich?
This is how.
Yeah, you can literally pay 8, add him.
Put blood in the cup and magic comes out.
Yeah, basically.
You set Clifford Scout in your scales, and you get Eldlich Golden Lord.
Yeah, basically. Only Eldlich is a lot more spicy than the Klee combo.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, Towers is funny, but, like, just one Monolith activation or Scout activation is not the same as an Eldland. Especially because this thing fucking floats.
It's very funny how Scout kind of set the tone for what should be the cost of a free tutor from the deck. Yeah. 800.
Yeah, 800 LP, add it, and if you already have the Eldlich monster in hand, you can also search one of your spell traps. So, like, very flexible.
You can get Conk. You can get Conk, or you could get the counter.
Yeah,
very fun.
Because that's Golden Land forever. And now we've got a weird one, but I think this is a later piece of support. But I like this card art, so I didn't really have another good place to put it. Oh no, this wasn't the original. Okay, so I think people just don't play this one, probably because it's not searchable. But this is El Dorado Adelanto.
Yeah, Adelantado is not great.
Yeah. So, Adelantado, by the way, is the name for a Spanish noble title that was also used as a military title by some of the conquistadors. So, like, it's just referencing the Spanish stuff.
It's like essentially a commodore or some such.
Yeah, something like that.
Right?
So, I don't know why, if that's the card's name when it's like a title. This trap is clearly Eldlich doing his special signature attack.
I mean, Adelantado might just be the name of the attack.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was thinking he's like, oh god, he has a raid wide mechanic.
Sorry, Loth, what were you saying?
You didn't get out of the piss puddles in time. No, don't worry. I was thinking along the same lines of Axe.
Okay.
It was mostly just what the fuck am I looking at? Why is this attack summoning golden spikes from the ground?
Just because it's Eldlich, man.
You broke his break bar. He's screeching and he's AoEing you now.
Yeah.
Like, to bring up another golden lovely monster to fight, Kulfdorf from Monster Hunter, he could just have molten gold drip from the ceiling. Like, honestly, that'd be a much more cooler attack.
I mean, for what it's worth, I kind of dig the art. Like one, it's Eldlich, who we've already said we liked. Yeah. So like we're gonna like a card that has Eldlich in the artwork.
He's hitting the power pose, you know. He's doing a classic anime move.
He's got several different effects going on, like the radio wave from his crystal. His crystal sparking, and the golden spikes are also sparking. From
whoever the artist is of this archetype, they're good because, like, on a technical level, this is very well made. There's a lot of like motion effects, there's a lot of special effects, but there's also a lot of detail of them like breaking through the ground and all the little debris and shit.
Yeah, to get kind of the easiest comparison, it feels very similar to how Akutami, Jujutsu Kaisen, kind of has that very frenetic style, but is still able to make it visually pleasing despite how the style can be rough around the edges. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I won't fight on that. Like, it does look good. I was mostly just like, But why?
Yeah, it's weird, but you still like it. You enjoy the visual hodgepodge.
You can't tell me what to like.
Yeah. I just think it's like drills become the pillars of any build of any of the castle he makes. But
I think
I'm just stuck thinking the animation of him like his thing glowing and then his stuff billowing as he's basically just charge bars going up. I just can't stop thinking that.
I do like that his cape is pure vertical.
Yeah, no, he's doing it
all the way up.
I mean, he's literally
floating.
It should, because he's hitting a Super Saiyan pose right now.
Actually, also to be fair, considering the ground is like fucked up, he's probably floating right now as well.
Yeah, as I said,
he's
like
balling out. I also suspect that.
I guess this does make it like what we thought was the undersash might be part of his like gauntlets or something, like part of his arms.
Oh yeah, as it stuck to the back.
They're
of his
not going
arms.
up with the cape.
Interesting. Yeah, that might be like attached to like his shoulders. What I was gonna say was I think that while they are drill shaped, also this might go back to the like roots theme we saw in Cursed Eld Land. Like he's spreading these metal roots everywhere that get into everything.
It's the Eldlich spikes that are gonna turn you into the city.
Because you do remember, we got to remember that Eldritch is part of his theme. You know, he's Eldritch plus Lich. So what this card does, what Adelantado does, is if you control an Eldlich monster, it's a normal trap, by the way. If I did say that before earlier. If you control an Eldlich monster...
You can't search with Cursed Eldling, because it's not a Golden Land card.
No. If you control an Eldlich monster... Again, it's very funny, by the way, that Mad Lord says he counts as Eldlich when, like, all their spell traps just check an Eldlich monster anyway. You can activate one of these effects, and we have bullet points. Either you can shuffle 3 of your banished Eldlich or spell traps with different names back into your deck, and if you do, destroy all cards on the field.
And I believe there are only 3 Eldixirs.
Yeah, so you have to have cycled through all 3, but if you do, you get a board wipe. He literally has a raid wide. Or you can shuffle 3 of your different banished Golden Land spell traps with different names.
Many more of those.
There are more of those, though the 3 monster guys there's 3 of them.
It was Kong Guardian Hakero?
Yes.
Hakero?
They added a couple more Golden Lands, but so, like... Good?
I kind of hate that it's not like, literally he's got ads, he's got mechanics where he goes through his elixirs and ends the big radar if you don't stop him drinking. He's got like transitional
people
things.
Like
it's
stuff.
It's
people
all
like
pieces
video
of a fucking Raider right here.
But the other effect is you shuffle those 3 back with different names in your get. If you do, have your opponent's life points, then you gain LP equal to their LP.
It's very shenanigansy, but it is unfortunately way too unwieldy because like in terms of Golden Land cards, you play Conk and Hakero. Is it Hakero?
Yeah,
or Hakero?
it's let me double check the spelling.
It's
I'm great at Spanish,
but I'm
I
bad
think it is
Spanish.
Huaquero.
Yeah, it's like you're probably playing Conk, Huaquero, and Golden Land forever.
Yeah,
but you're not playing Guardian. Guardian's not that good.
No.
So like you're locked into a weird situation where you may have the Golden Land cards to shuffle, but you have to have the perfect setup of getting all 3.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those cards where I appreciate when Konami does do this, because there are lots of archetypes that banish their stuff as part of their normal combo cycle, which Eldlich is one of those. It's a zombie archetype, so, you know, the graveyard doesn't fucking matter. To get rid of your cards, you have to banish them, you know? So I love that they put in an effect where you have a way to recycle your banish zone, and obviously it's for, like, a really big effect. The problem is that because it's with different names, this is only a late-game card, so it's basically a win more, right? Like, to get to here, you have to have cycled through all of your Eldlixirs or all of your Golden Lands, or your opponent has absolutely just been kicking your ass, and you have to have hard-drawn this. Honestly, I think this card would still be vaguely alright if it was searchable somehow, but because you can't search it, it's just, you're going to play more copies of cards that do stuff all the time, right? So it's one of those cases where, because this was in the initial Secret Slayers package, Konami, like, in playtesting and design was like, okay, they're going to banish all their spell traps, and they're not monsters, so they can't, like, do monster recovery stuff. How do we get them back? Oh, well, we'll give them a trap card that, like, lets them shuffle them back late game for, like, the big, cool, splashy thing, and then they were too afraid of it being searchable, so it wasn't, and so it doesn't matter. There's no reason to play it.
It's one of those cards that it makes perfect sense in the design headspace, but in the practical sense, it's borderline unplayable, except in very niche, like, limited formats where you're just sticking around with friends and, like, you're not playing competitively to kill as fast as possible, where these kind of mid-late game grind cards will never come up.
Like, hypothetically, Tactics Thrust exists. You can set a normal trap that way, so you could just fish it out, but, like, there's way better ways than, like, wasting space on, like, running Trap Trick or, you know, Thrust for Adelanto. There's way better things you can do. All right, now it's time to talk about those Golden Land spell traps. We start alphabetically with Conk, as he's usually called, Conquistador of the Golden Land. And he does have a horse.
It's a Conquistador getting the Gold Plague.
Well, and we should have shown a few other cards before this, because the aesthetic happening on these cards will make more sense when we get to other ones.
Yeah, there's like I think
Elixir of White Destiny and Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine were the specifics I was thinking. Like the Elixir
Sanguine has a little bit more of a
I do at least like you can see the original in ghost form behind it.
Yeah,
probably,
so
honestly,
I'll just allude to it. Elixir consuming all the potions, basically exploded the city, and now all of its inhabitants are covered in this King Midas-esque gold curse.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They've been King Midas. The way that the Valuable Book EX says it, the accursed domain of Eldlich, Eldland. The merciless curse of the magic stone made no distinctions on who or what it ensnared. Gold-hungry travelers, armies from beyond the sea in search of new lands to conquer, and the native beasts of the bewitched city were transformed into deathless gold. So, people are hitting up Eldlich, try and steal his shit, but his land is cursed, so if you go there, you become gold. So it's funny that, like, you're going to see cards like Hakero and Conk, who are very clearly supposed to be invaders, right? Like, Eldlich is supposed to be from the equivalent of, like, the Americas, and these are the Spaniards coming in.
Eldlich is the Mesoamerican king of El Dorado.
So these guys are coming in, but in a reverse to how real life works, instead of giving the natives smallpox, they catch gold pox and become zombos.
Pirates, conquistadors, and even the giant magical lions he had.
Yeah, it does say native beasts. It's kind of weird that Guardian is like a lion or saber-toothed tiger. I know that jaguars are cool, so maybe it should be a little more jaguar looking, but, you know, you could have gone with a feathered serpent. That's another really common motif. Or
a quaddle.
Yes, thanks, guys. Or, hey, hear me out. Golden gator.
A golden crocodile.
Golden gator, so you mean a lizard man.
But yeah,
from the Warhammer Fantasy.
Yeah, basically, those guys are very Mesoamerican, if I remember rightly. They're from the New World. So Conk is one of the ones you see, as we mentioned earlier. Guardian doesn't get played a lot, but Conk is a continuous trap. It says, special summon this card as a normal monster, specifically. Zombie Light, level 5, attack 500, defense 1800. Parentheses, this card is also still a trap, so it still counts as a trap for effects that count that. Then, if you control an Eldlich, you can destroy one face-up card on the field. During the end phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, set an Eldlich or trap directly from your deck. You can only use each effect once per turn and only once that turn. So I didn't realize this off the top of my head, but Golden Land and Eldlich were playing around Ash before even Labyrinth was. Because that's why all of like the furniture in Lab set straight from deck, because you cannot Ash that. So that's good on Konami for experimenting that. But yeah, Conk is one of your pretty common guys. He's a pop on summon, destroys a face-up card. He's got 1800 defense, which is okay. And if he goes to graveyard for any reason, such as if you send him, because he's still a trap, to summon Eldlich, you can then banish it out and just fetch a spell trap directly from your deck immediately. Do not pass go.
Yeah, it's been forever since I've been here, so I don't know if this has been mentioned several before. But if you ever hear us call a card a shorthand, it probably was really good.
Yes, that is fair. It's been a while since we've discussed about that.
Yeah. Since you left, most of the time the conversation usually goes, this motherfucker's a Digimon, this motherfucker's a Kamen Rider, this motherfucker is like from some other anime Japanese series.
I admit the biting commentary has not been as focused on the actual metagame of Yu-Gi-Oh! Though also, even in the deck build packs, we were looking at older archetypes.
Most deck build packs were no offense, kind of stinkers in terms of competitive mindset.
Yeah.
But they can still have incredibly fun aesthetics and gameplay concepts.
Yeah. I think retroactively, I think we can say that Mystic Fighters was like the first really good one because all three of those decks have seen meta play on one side of the ocean or the other. That's Dragon Maid, Generator, Mathmech. So like, all of those have been good. Generator, I think, got a top this year. So like, they existed, but they needed to wait for their second wave of support. Eldlich was basically good right out the gate. And secondly, so was Adamantipator, which was our backup. I don't think we will get there tonight. We'll save that for a future stream. But yeah, so Conk is a fairly important card. I also think that most people abbreviate him as Conk because maybe people don't want to say all the syllables of Conquistador. In case they fuck it up.
I don't think they want to say Conquistador of the Golden Land, honestly.
Well, we won't get to Hakuero yet. This is Guardian. He's like a golden zombie Smealodon. Why? Meh. He looks cool though.
I think like the gold. I feel like the saber might come from like the gold part, honestly.
Probably.
And the same as his spikes.
And
like the skeleton chest.
He's good.
Isn't there like a secondary version of this that is just it from a different angle?
No.
Okay.
He might show up in like some other spell trap art that's not. I can't think of right now, but no, this is Guardian.
I mean, he looks like a crazy zombie dog, which I can get behind. Like,
I'm pretty sure
it
it's
almost looks like the animal thing. Like, it almost looks like his skeletal parts are like have actually turned gold. Like his bones are gold, and they're just like coming through all the fur. That's looks like it's disintegrated or something.
Yeah, it's a good Zambi look. I don't really have a lot else to add about how Guardian looks. He is a cat.
Yeah. I'd pet him on the head and call him a good boy.
So, why isn't this one used as much? Well, it's very situational. So, Guardian... Sorry, burped. Guardian is another continuous trap that you special summon as a normal monster. It's Zombie Light, level 8, attack 800, defense 2500, is also still a trap. Then, if you control Eldlich, you can make the attack of one face-up monster on the field become 0. It has also the same graveyard effect. You can banish him to set an Eldlixir. So compared to, popping, and obviously we'll talk about what Hakuero does later, setting attack to 0 is, like, it's cool. There are whole archetypes that are all about that. That's not really how Eldlich plays. You are not, I mean, you can sometimes OTK with Eldlich, but that's not normally what you're doing. What you're doing in Eldlich is playing a slow, grindy game where you're playing a lot of back row to disrupt your opponent and make just a big asshole they can't out. So
yeah, I mean, there's been times when my opponent who has been playing Eldlich has like seen that like if I play any further I could possibly beat them, so they just go no. Your guy's attack points nothing. My guy's attack points big. Let's end this. There's been times that has been used.
Like, I suspect you would probably still, unless the space is really tight because you can run such a small package, you probably still run one Guardian.
Oh yeah,
just a
at
case
least one.
Because it's easily searchable, but it's not one of your primary power cards. Also, Vesper has left us for a brief moment.
No, yeah, sorry.
I just want to bring up. Yeah. It's a one turn. Yeah, I like how Zed says it. It's a one turn kill because you set up a board that forces your opponent to surrender in one turn, not actually because you kill him. But yeah, Guardian is all right, but it's not gonna like break anybody out. So let us then grab the last of our 3 trap monsters. It's the other one you've probably seen, Hakuero. So art design wise, this guy is pretty funny.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah. So Hakuero is straight up Spanish for grave robber. So, that makes sense what they're doing. But the way these guys are dressed and drawn is they're pirates. These are very obviously pirates. These are some Pirates of the Caribbean as pirates.
Yep.
So yeah, it's very interesting how they went for grave robber straight up, but also these are absolutely like pirate aesthetics.
I appreciate it.
Did I just miss Guardian?
Yeah.
Nope.
You just missed
Hello,
Guardian.
welcome back. I appreciate that you can clearly see that once again He's got some of the jewelry in his hands, of course. Still the jewelry, red, blue, green, and like it.
I think the literal implication is that wearing gold is the curse, because the gold is emanating from the part of their body that has the treasure.
Yeah, you can see some of his pants are ripped, the side with the the gold. I'm tripping over my watch. You know what I mean? You can see it.
Yeah.
He touched it and it spread immediately over his body.
And it looks like he's got like some gold coins or something that are dropped on the ground. And yeah, so
I
brought this up
just
before you got back, but Huaquero means, or Huaquero, however you actually say it, means grave robber in Spanish. So
looters.
They are literally robbing graves, even though visually, once again, very clearly pirates. This is a zombie
both
pirate.
Can apply.
I mean, it's true, but yeah, it's just I find it interesting they decided to go all the way to Huaquero. But I feel like, funnily enough, you might not think it, but I kind of feel like this Yu-Gi-Oh archetype kind of is not like a real harsh indictment or anything, but is a little bit of an indictment on colonialism. Not sure how I got that vibe, but you know.
It's almost like there's some kind of commentary on it or something. You know?
Yeah, it's almost like everyone involved is kind of bad.
We're throwing a little shade.
On both sides.
All right, wow.
Even
okay,
the nature.
both sides in colonialism.
I more meant Eldlich is literally a undead lich.
Yeah, he's not a great guy, but
I mean, listen, if anything, he's not invading anyone, so it's their fault for going and trying to take his shit.
I mean, it is true. They're trying to take his gold. I think in general, Eldlich is just a.
You said take his shit. I honestly thought you said take his shit. It's like you cannot go to the toilet around Eldlich.
No,
yeah, also, I've also noticed that there's like the evil cursed like vapors from the gold coins on the floor.
Yeah, there's some fog. Guardian, a little fog in the background as well. In general, actually, I suspect that Eldlich is probably just a generic metaphor for like, because everybody's done the thing about both gold madness and the curse of immortality. Like this one asshole wants to live forever, and that's not that idea.
Particularly unique per se, but it's a tried and true trope.
But yeah, so
this is
it's a fun trope because like the fusion monster is him, like going to madness, and him normally it's just like him going, oh well, that's a tizzy. Back to business as usual, I guess.
I'm also looking at rank 5 monsters to find the most dumb shit thing to brew with Conk and Huaquero. And there's not much aside from Durandal, I guess.
Yeah, I don't really know what else you'd do. So yeah, spoilers. This guy becomes level 5 as a trap monster. He's a continuous trap. You can special summon as a normal monster. No, it's fine. We were gonna get there anyway. Special summon as a normal monster. Light, level 5 zombie, 1800 attack, 1500 defense, so you actually have an offensive stat line. This is the thing
what is interesting is that, to kind of just a minor bit of backtracking since I wasn't here for Guardian.
Yeah.
I like that Guardian is a level 8 with a, that is a blocker, basically.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna bring back up. Like, it's kind of funny that, like, the reason why I think Guardian's effect to, like, zero out your attack is not great is because you're not really doing a lot of attacking in this deck. You're not going to OTK anybody, and there are better ways to remove cards than just zero them out. But it does have a big booty. That's why I think we said that you probably still run one because Guardian is very searchable, but you don't need it all the time. But Huaquero here is like your only other offensive option.
We're running Guardian at some point, like they just cut it because it wasn't worth it, but it bounced back and forth from like one and none. Like it happens sometimes.
At best, you're going to use it as a one of because it is a big booty blocker. But like Huaquero is your only other like offensive option other than playing other zombie cards, which are also not necessarily very large. Zombies have other ways of beating up your opponent. But its effect, if you summon it and control Eldlich, is you can banish a card from either graveyard during your end phase. You can banish
it is funny how Conquistador is pillaging the land, and Huaquero is pillaging the grave.
Yeah,
it's a very fun.
Pop a card. Banish from grave, and it's from either grave too, because which I think is obviously that can be a benefit to you as well for certain effect procs. But
really trying to have that Adelantado.
Yeah, but
down. I wonder. Is Guardian now, I guess, pillaging the wildlife because now it's basically a super predator?
No, it's a Guardian.
It's pillaging the wildlife. It is doing its best to prevent you from reaching the Golden Land.
Yeah, it's protecting. But the point of the lore and kind of the general aesthetic setup of these guys is that the X of the Golden Land cards are not necessarily on anybody's side. I don't think the lore ever suggests that Eldlich can command these guys. They just keep showing up to his kingdom where there's a lot of cursed shit going on, and they become cursed.
Yeah, like the ways Eldritch things generally work, it's either on one like you all become one hive mind of bullshit, or you're just like you are just an ever-present force in this area that will do its best to hurt you. But it's like they're on their side, but they all hate you.
Yeah, basically. And then we have another.
Eldlich is that guy who stands above the rest, being the only one to retain his sanity. But even that is a perilous road kind of thing.
So this
is
the
grand sorcerer
the
of
fourth.
He's
a king.
Look at these fucking guys. Now.
He's the it's the fourth Golden Land trap. No, they're knights. They're made of knight armor.
Yeah, I think
they do have skull. I think they do have skull faces under there, but yeah. But yeah, so this is your fourth Golden Land trap, which was always there. It's Golden Land forever, and obviously not the same place he's doing that pose, but
he is just doing the swagger pose on a throne with, like, we don't know how big Eldlich is, but these guys are at least like twice or thrice his size.
Yeah, they are big boys who are statue skeleton armors.
I would say Eldlich is like 7 feet tall, so we'll go if like these guys are like 12 feet tall or something.
Probably, yeah, something like that. Yeah, they're very big.
They're big motherfuckers.
And
they remind me of like actually like fucking they're like Talos-sized.
Yeah, and just like of course Eldlich is that guy to fucking like have his throne be even more up. How the fuck does Eldlich get in and out of his chair? I don't know. He doesn't care.
They put it down and then pick it up.
Yeah.
Actually, guys, I've got it. Eldlich's attitude is exactly what everyone jokes about fucking Ozymandias and Fate.
He really is, though. He is.
His
shiny,
chair could be upside down and Eldlich will be fucking lounging in it.
I mean, that's a pretty baller move, yeah. So
I just like the stained glass behind it with all the golden rods.
It's like for it being an Eldlich card and how he's like 10% of the art, the rest of the other 90% is fucking exquisite.
Yeah, the light shining down, the fucking golden sparkles, the smoke, like, again.
Yeah, no.
They went way too hard on this.
Great artwork.
Oh my God, Omega, you get this, but like, Aaron is right. It's a fucking
it's the golden throne in the Custodes. It's Big E, chilling on his chair.
No, now I'm picturing text-to-speech device coming out of Eldlich now.
Eldlich has a text-to-speech. I could do that joke. This card in Japanese is called the Forever Shining Golden Land. Just Golden Land Forever, with an exclamation point in the TCG. And I want to bring this up. This is the Omni. This is the Omni Negate. Like,
yes.
And the Omni Negate is just Eldlich sitting there staring down at you like, oh.
Like, the ego on this guy. He's just like, nah.
Oh, how quaint.
So the way it works is it's a counter trap like most Omnis. When a spell trap card or a monster effect is activated, while you control an Eldlich monster, you contribute a zombie monster, negate, and destroy that card. You can only Golden Land forever once per turn. So yeah, it's a very boilerplate Omni negate, especially because obviously even if Eldlich is your only monster, if it's like a good enough negate, you don't care that he's in the graveyard. You'll summon him back. And yeah I love the aesthetic principle of this, where like Eldlich's Omni Negate is not like anything special. It's just like he exists and is just like, nah. What is a man? A miserable pile of secrets. You know.
It is not by my hand.
Basically, yeah. Big Symphony of Night Drac vibes from this. He's just fucking chilling, and
Well, not only that. So like the Tribute 1 zombie monster is one. It's Eldlich or any of the trap monsters that are just there because
just chilling,
they were on the board.
But yeah, it's just it's spicity.
Yeah, it's a spicy card.
And so there's one more Golden Land card. This one is later. This was added in Blazing Vortex.
Yeah,
a set that people made fun of, but did matter.
This and Mad Lord were like the late stage of like, oh, we're gonna add more to it, and no one cares.
Asking, we're not gonna go over the Elixrs, are we?
No, we will.
We are.
I probably should have ordered them first, but I did my alphabetical wrong. I started with Conquistor of the Golden Land because it was C. I probably should have put Elds before the Golden Lands, but whatever. The list exists.
Yeah, I can see why. I can see why this is the lead up to the fusion monster, because he's Morbin.
So this is 7 cities of the Golden Land, which is a different myth of golden cities. The 7 cities of gold are in North America. Also, they aren't in North America. They don't fucking exist. Europeans are dumb. You tell them there's gold there.
They're totally here.
You tell them there's gold, and they're like, "Fuck it, I'll believe it." And you tell them there's not gold, and they're like, "You're lying to me."
That happens in America later. That's why California's so huge.
Yeah, no, but like that was a thing where we're connecting our cities of gold narrative, but it still works. It's still like in the same vein.
I never noticed you had a conch shell, or I guess
it's an anime. That's the red stone. I mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The red stone of Asia.
This is probably.
Fuck you!
Thank you for the JoJo reference.
I also thought of that.
Sadly, his mask is made of gold, not of stone. He is about as big as a Pillar Man, though.
He probably is, yeah.
And actually, that loops back too. If we do make an Emperor TTS reference, the Custodes were always characters were always introduced with the Pillar Man theme, and he has pillars in this screen.
He has 3 pillars, in fact.
Yeah.
Same spiral.
All we need is the Speedwagon of the Golden Land.
Yeah. Anyways,
Speedwagon.
The for not liking the Mad Golden Lord, I like what they're trying to do as the go in between.
Mm-hmm. He's going too far.
Yeah.
He's eating too many elixirs.
Yeah, like we mentioned earlier, I stepped away for a small bit, so brain short-circuited. But basically, like we said, the main deck Eldlich happened. He was either before or after the Mad Golden Lord, but Mad Golden Lord was him consuming the elixirs, and like the alt art is probably just him in the aftermath, and we are watching him. We are watching things go bad. We are watching what caused everything else.
And the valuable book did come out late enough to actually talk about this, so I have a little lore on 7 Cities of Gold.
Nice.
It says, the target of his desire wasn't limited to just the Golden Land. It extended to the outside world. Eldlich performed a ritual that focused the golden curse onto himself, which raised the curtain on his march to conquer the world itself. He is, in fact, Kars with the Red Stone of Asia. This is him not just eating the elixir, but now he is eating all of the curse energy, and that's how he becomes mad and huge.
Well, and not only that, like the idea does kind of like very loosely, like probably not intentional, but as you mentioned, the 7 cities we're not in Mesoamerica.
Yeah.
Like he is siphoning the cursed energy from the other 7 cities. I think is the intent.
Probably, yeah, to get him in there, and that's how he becomes big. What does he do after that? We don't fucking know. There's no follow-up. I don't know what the counter archetype to fight Eldlich would be, but that would be funny.
The closest we have to a follow-up is his alt art, where he's just chilling in the ruins.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I just realized something. For the longest time, I thought what his castle was his second leg. So I thought his legs became noodles.
No, that's his tabard.
He
is gooping out right now. Look at how his leg is bent. And you can still see the tiny heel of his riding boot down there.
Yeah,
it's very perspective-y, but it is not the worst. It is not the worst wonky leg. It is just really perspective.
It's been worse.
He's doing the Polnareff lean into the camera.
Yeah,
I just forgot how his largest mouth is, honestly.
Yeah, his mouth's pretty freaky. They should focus on that more. That's the Zombo zone.
He should get that looked at.
You can look at that golden tongue.
Also, no. Somebody said, was Eldlich a conquistador? No. The Eldlixir lore, we'll just talk about it now, is in times past, sages possessed by greed offered thousands of souls to the magic stone Eldlixir until it finally awakened. So the Eldlixir will go through the process of black, white, red. Shining a bright crimson, it transformed the land it touched upon into a golden city, the very picture of wealth, but all life within it was reduced to shambling undead. The stone that had led countless travelers to their doom ultimately found itself into the hands of one inhumanly strong-willed man, and so Eldlich, the Golden Lord, an unparalleled being of greed, and the immortal ruler of the Golden Land, was born. So, I don't know if he exactly started in the Golden Land itself or he came later, but he is not necessarily in quite the same vibes as the conquistadors. He is just a really, really strong-willed dude who was not taken over by the curse right away and was like, this stone? It's mine now.
He's basically a typical Call of Cthulhu villain.
Yeah, because
He's a lich.
My interpretation, reading the Eldlixirs later down the line, is that like the Golden Lord is likely some kind of like he may not be the literal king of the Golden Land, but he was some part of it who gathered this power.
Yeah. Because somebody was doing it for a reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, so...
Also, I believe in one of the arts for the Elixir, it just reminds me of one of those famous paintings everyone makes fun of. I'll see if I can grab it.
There's some good stuff, but we're going to look at it in a second.
When we get there.
So, Seven Cities is another continuous spell card, which is very funny because its first effect reads, during your main phase, you can fusion summon a fusion monster from your extra deck using only zombie monsters from your hand or field as material. If a zombie monster is special summoned by a card effect, except during the damage step, you can target a set card in a spell trap zone. That set card can't be activated this turn, even if this card leaves the field. So it's worse light stage. You only use each effect of Seven Cities once per turn.
And like honestly, if the Mad Golden Lord was like, he did anything else, I feel like we would have seen this card run, because like a Kong, Quaquero, and Guardian are all level 5 or higher monsters, which is what Mad Golden Lord needs. So
yes,
everything is in the archetype to summon him. He's just unfortunately not good.
Yeah, and also I think if there were any good generic zombie fusions as well, because it's just fusion summon. I mean, honestly, you can do it other ways, because it's just you have to use zombie monsters as material. So like, I guess you could make First of the Dragons this way, right? Because that's just two normal monsters.
They are not counted as normal monsters if they are trap monsters are not, unless they explicitly
say they're normal monsters in their text.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they say summon this as a normal monster. So
you probably
is a line. The problem is just that like that requires you to have two of those guys on board because they don't count as monsters in your hand. So
yes, it is like it's really interesting. It's a fun concept for the deck. It just like in a competitive space, it's not going to work, but you can certainly fuck around with it and see what happens.
And obviously, I see the synergy of if a zombie monster is special summoned, you can gum up a set card. You can keep an eye out for your opponent's back row. That goes very well with the deck as well. But also, like I said, that's literally just Trickstar Light Stage, but worse. That also gets rid of the card at the end. So that's a cute little effect, but it's just a bonus, and it's not enough to clog up your deck with more continuous spells. Once again, despite the name, not a field spell. So you have a lot of this weird overlap where you're playing cards that are going to gum up your back row, and you need your back row. Remind me, does this still counts as a trap? Does that mean it still takes up the spell trap zone as well?
They do not.
Okay. They're summoned as a monster.
Trap monsters are really fucky. Like in some formats they do. It's like some of them do because the trap monsters are very weirdly worded sometimes.
Yeah.
But Quaquero, Conk, and Guardian.
Okay, so they get out of your spell trap zone. That's good.
They don't gunk up your zone.
You still have to set them though to set up. So like, you're wasting zones if you're playing, because obviously you want to play Cursed Eldland. That card is very good. But if you're also playing Seven Cities,
so you've already got
wasting space basically. Yeah, we're all going the same place.
Yeah.
So like, it's cool.
Like, you need one Cursed Eldland, so that's 4 spots. If you play this one, you've only got 3 zones, which ideas it's messy. It gets messy fast.
So it's just it's not worth itself. So now we're gonna go through the described Eldlixir process. So first, Eldlixir of Black Awakening. So this is a very different vibe at this start level. You've got Blackening. That's the first stage of alchemy of perfecting your Philosopher's Stone. We're in a very not like completely different, but slightly different room of like a rotunda. It's very white, lots of little red lights. You can see that it's still got the weird ammonite shape. And there's a big pit of golden goo.
Yep.
Not really sure how that works, but
we will see in the next Eldlixir. As far as we know, the people in this setting are the same one as that one, and they are normal people at this point of the lore.
These are just some sages living somewhere who were like, what would be cool? Immortality crystal.
Yeah.
Elixir of immortality. Why is the elixir a nautilus? I don't know. That's probably some kind of reference I don't get. But yeah, there it is. I like the color effect.
You guys can. I literally just shrugged in response to your question.
I like the kind of effect of the black, elixir, the stone in the golden lighting. That's cool. This just looks sick.
Looks great.
So, Black Awakening.
That looks like, sorry, hold on. I just realized that looks like the area final part of like the climax of an adventure movie would take place in, where the characters try not to fall into the evil goop.
Yeah. Indiana Jones comes through the big archway and just sees the stone floating there, and is just like, "Whoop, that's bad."
How am I gonna get that?
And of course, we have to throw the Nazi into the well of golden light, and he becomes like a golden skeleton Nazi.
We're gonna watch his face melt off.
Yeah.
You should always melt Nazi faces. Anyway, Black Awakening, normal spell card, just normal card that you can activate. Which is also, by the way, where you probably need at least one free zone, because you're setting a lot of continuous cards, and also you need to activate your fucking elixirs. This says, special summon a zombie monster from your hand or deck in defense position, but if you control no Eldlich monsters, you can only special summon Eldlich monsters, so Eldlich, with this effect. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you can't special summon except zombies. You can banish this card from your graveyard, set a golden land spell trap directly from your deck. You can only use Eldlixir once per turn and only once that turn. Or one effect per turn. So yeah, Eldlixir is one of your starters. We talked about how easy it is to search because you can use Eldland to just add Eldlich to your hand. You can also just special summon Eldlich from your deck. Like, I don't know why they have this restriction that...
This is the part of the deck where they try to make it splashable in zombie decks, but because you can just summon an Eldlich monster, you don't need to worry about the other zombie engine.
Yeah, like, I don't know why they put that restriction in here, because that's not a restriction. You want to summon Eldlich out of your deck. Even if it's in defense position, he's got more defense than attack, It's like, it's a great place to put him to just get him out there.
To kind of run back to Adelanto, in the design space, the idea is, well, if you're not, like, you need to get Eldlich on the field to start summoning zombies, which is like the design space. In practicality, it just gets you Eldlich.
Yeah, you just use this to start to get to Eldlich, and then you do other stuff with him. That said, like, other than that, I'm confused by, like, they thought the restriction, and I mean, we can be fair. Zombie is pretty good. Like, generic zombie decks, like especially Zombie Synchro, has existed for quite a while and been good.
Zombie good stuff has been a deck on and off for years now.
And I just had this thought. I wonder if they didn't give this deck a field spell so that you are free to play Zombie World as a floodgate.
That probably is the case.
Yeah, because that opens up a lot of your engine slots, and Zombie World is absolutely a floodgate against certain decks. Like, that really can fuck over some setups. So,
yeah, Eldlich in a pure zombie build would just be playing Zombie World, Necro Shinobi, all this other random bullshit.
Necro World Banshee is a great card to play in that combo.
It would be an incredibly powerful deck, like, by all means, but also, why play all the okay zombies if I can just play all the good Eldlich cards and other good cards?
Yeah, I think their main problem is the fact that they let it spend any spell trap, so that just means you could play... Why don't we play Floodgates? You could play the Zombie World line, and there's a great, pay for that. Like I said, it's basically a Floodgate. But, hey, you could also play 3 Skill Drain instead. That's a better Floodgate.
Like, if there was some synergy in this, I would honestly put it past people to find a way to do, like, send... Well, actually, hold on. Is it send or destroy spell trap card you own?
Send.
This? Okay, sorry. I was thinking if it was destroy, I'm like, people will try to find a way to make this work with fucking ancient gears.
No, and I think it's better that it's send, because there's a lot of decks that proc off destruction. You can do dumb stuff with ancient gear. You can do dumb stuff with Unchained. Like, there's a lot going on there. Like, but it is send. But yeah,
luckily it's send, not destroy.
But yeah, so Black Awakening is a really good card in Eldlich. But it's funny that they were more worried about Eldlich plus zombie good stuff than just Eldlich plus good stuff generally.
Yeah, because even if you look at like the initial set, it's Eldlich like in their headspace. It's like, okay, it's Eldlich. It's one main deck monster, a bunch of spells and traps. So this can't be a deck by itself. So we're going to limit it to we're going to limit this stuff to make it not splashable and it's splashable in zombies, but it's not going to be instantly accessible.
splashable on zombies, but first you need the Eldlich out in the field.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then let's let me pull up the next one. So we're going out of alphabetical order to go into story order because after Blackening comes Whitening, and this is Eldlixir of White Destiny. Oh no, we've fucked up. This is what we call the find out phase of fuck around.
The fact that they actually gave this person running away some detail, I wonder if this is actually just Eldlich beforehand.
What was Eldlich, a white-haired twink? I don't know.
Maybe.
Also, I probably shouldn't call this person a twink.
The
They're in a robe, but they're like
they're
an anime. Yes, I was gonna bring that up later. But this is a robed, white-haired anime boy. But yeah, no.
The fires within burn stronger than the gold outside. I don't know.
The as Ax just mentioned, the pit of golden goop is turning into a bunch of zombos.
This is called the inciting incident.
Yeah, you can see one of the other robed guys also just booking it, just like, whoa, time to go.
We turned the dial too hard.
I love the choice of colors and effect coming off of the thing, though.
Yeah, that kind of like pinkish purplish, going to blue, because it's White Destiny, so this is whitening, so it's like shining like the sun. And no, it's good. I also wonder, there's some like weird shadows back here. I don't know if that's supposed to be detail or if they're supposed to indicate that there are already zombies back there. There's just some weird lines.
I just appreciate it. Looks like you just see a bunch of golden skulls with red eyes just like seeping out, like we're here.
Yeah, no, they're coming out. We've done a dumb, we've done a bad.
And honestly, I can't tell what that is, like, because there is one part of like the goop gold that is like taller than the rest, and all I can think of is that it looks a bit like Harpar, like Orcus Harpar.
Well, yeah, Orcus does.
Like, they just get unbanned.
Yeah, and this is him emerging from the ban list. Also, I mean, Orcus does kind of have the same aesthetic, not in the same way because they are also musical instruments, but Orcus is, brass specifically, but, metal and skeletons, so they kind of cross over.
Orcus does have a lot of man-made horrors beyond our comprehension kind of aesthetic.
But that's just because that's just Ningirsu going through his, depressed anime villain phase.
I just pictured fucking Eldlich pulling an epic sax guy.
I mean, put him on that throne with those two guys lifting up and have him just do the dance. Do, 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 do. Sadly, you cannot play Orcus Eldlich. That doesn't work. Those are both Xenophobe. Well, they're type locked, but you know what I mean. Because one is a machine or dark lock. And the other
apologies
is
for getting sidetracked there. So
it's fine. So, Eldlixir
we're
is
almost out of cards anyways.
Yeah, White Destiny is a quick play spell card. Finally, something you can do on your opponent's turn. And it reads, special summon a zombie monster from your hand or graveyard. But if you control no Eldlich monsters, you can only summon Eldlich. So it's, Black Awakening was deck. Also, was it hand, actually? Let me double check. I gotta go back a couple, but...
let me pull it up.
Yeah, it was hand or deck, so...
Yeah, hand or deck. Elixir is your... Boom, bam,
White Destiny is hand or graveyard, but it's just Eldlich. Though obviously with zombie monsters, it may be possible for you to have an Eldlich on your board and some guys in your graveyard. That may be how you got Eldlich out of your graveyard, kind of a thing. For the rest of this turn, after you resolve it, you're locked to zombies. During your main phase, you can banish it to set a Golden Land spell trap.
Yeah, in my brain space, the starter will get Eldlich. This card will get your extender.
Yeah, because there's a lot of guys you can bin naturally. And like I said, if you want to put Eldlich in your graveyard through, like, normal stuff, I don't know for sure if you would play, like, a Unizombie, but you could easily play Unizombie to just bin Eldlich from deck.
Unizombie or Mezuki.
Yeah.
Like,
Mez, Gulls kind of stuff, those guys. God help you, there's all kinds of other ways to put zombies
There's 7,000 zombies that will mill from the deck for free.
Yeah, that one little zombie plant-looking thing.
I honestly, I wonder if that's why Eldlich has such a high level, so that you can't use him for synchro combos.
That honestly, it does make a lot of sense when you really think about it.
Yeah, because like
there aren't really that, like, someone made a Filthy Cat mention earlier that's train support, like, if you really want it to be, but I mean, yeah, you could. I honestly, I do believe I have been fucking like blown out by like Lieb or the other trains as like an alternate kill vehicle in Eldlich. That's not. I definitely have seen that. It is real and it can hurt you.
it's not your, much like the fusion monster, it's not your primary game plan, but we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And you're probably playing Yu-Gi-Oh! On Master Duel, which means whatever results in a win, baby. We take those, as they say. So,
we can ravenous tarantula you if we just felt fucking really sassy.
Like,
I need to get going.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. I did a mental double take because, like I said, I'm AFK in Gridania right now. Apparently, there's some bards playing fucking Christmas carols. Wild. Okay. We have one card left. The last Eldlixir. Just to let you know how things are going. So look at Black Awakening as how it started, and Scarlet Sanguine is how it's going. How's it going? Bad.
There's two of them.
So we see a couple of the Roby boys, though I do believe these are different because they don't have the same hair color as our last guy. I'm also not sure.
Actually, there's a third Roby at the back.
There's a third one back there.
I don't know why, but for the longest time, seeing this card in Master Duel, like in a lower resolution, I always assumed that this guy on the left here looked a lot like this image I'm sharing. Just had the same energy.
Got a little bit of the scream action, yeah.
It does. It has the waviness.
Yeah. And these guys are like, I mean, that's the appropriate way to do it, but these guys are supremely fucked up. Their bones are at like 90-degree angles when they shouldn't be. Like, they're doing some real plastic, crinkly
zombie
stuff.
I'm thinking the two guys that didn't run away in the first two arcs, everyone else got fucking destroyed, and all the corpses, I guess, they put in the pool came back out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
also,
like,
all sacrifices
imply that they mummified them, which is a little interesting, but yeah.
The way I see it is that Conquer Vaquero are like and Guardian are these more recent, like they have been assimilated into the Golden Land after the fact. Scarlet Sanguine are like the initial thing, so they've been here for eons.
And I do believe that is the direction the lore book goes, because it talks about the Eldlixirs first, and then it's like, and then this Eldlich guy came along to take control of the stone, which has become red, like we said. Reddening is the final phase of the alchemical process to make a Philosopher's Stone, which is how you make the, immortal life elixir. And obviously the first victims were, like, the people they threw in the pit, and then the sages who did not get the fuck away fast enough.
I appreciate two things. One, noticing that, like, on the robes there is like a red diamond, but it's basically just like a diamond version of the conch thing.
Yeah.
And secondly, you can just see the gold creeping out from the pit, slowly taking over the architecture.
Yeah, it's turning the land golden.
It's
like
actually terrifying in a
they
cool
made
way.
the Philosopher's Stone, but they did not expect the result.
Yeah.
It's creep.
It's the classic, like, the speculative fiction of, Who Wants to Live Forever. They're like, okay, you can be immortal by becoming a weird golden zombie man. You won't die.
But your mind might.
To quote, the great chaos mathematician Ian Malcolm. You thought about what you could, if you could. You never asked if you should.
Ah, yes.
Jurassic Park.
It took me a second. I'm like, wait a second.
I mean, I don't think I quoted that literally. I was paraphrasing, but yeah. Stop to think about, if you could, not if you should, kind of a thing. But yeah, so this is Eldlixir of Scarlet Sanguine. And like I said, there should be a yellowing process. I understand, obviously, for the lore why they don't go that direction, but if they did ever want to give Eldlich more cards, there's room for it. So what Scarlet Sanguine does is, Scarlet Sanguine is the first of these cards that is a normal trap. So, you've got the whole spectrum. You have normal spell, quick play spell, normal trap.
Well, honestly, in a way, Golden Land is the yellow. If you're like in essence of the support.
Yeah, I guess it does have that function. But yeah, so this is just like Black Awakening, but it's a trap card, so it happens after. You can special summon a zombie from your deck or graveyard, but if you control no Eldlich monsters, you can only summon Eldlich. For the rest of this, you are zombie locked. You can banish it from your graveyard. So its effect text is literally just Black Awakening on a normal trap, but that does mean that you can set it up so that you can continue to get more. Actually, no, it's not hand or deck. It's deck or graveyard, so it's kind of like bits of both.
it's different, but like on the off chance someone's fucking up your spells with like anti-spell fragrance, you've at least got a trap card option.
Well, and like I said, I think the main thing is that this is deck or graveyard, so this is like if your opponent figures out some way to get rid of your Eldlich, which turns off some of your like golden land spells, you can just be like, nah, but Scarred Sanguine, fuck you. He comes back. But he came back.
But he came back.
But yeah, that is our last Eldlich card, thanks to the extended ban list discussion. This has taken a stream of about 2 hours, so it's probably a good point to wrap up. Axe said that he wants to get going, and we've been doing the 2 hours. It's pretty solid.
Hate playing against this deck. Love the design, but and everything else about it, though.
I need to
yeah, it's fine.
Earlier.
It's okay. You can duck out fast.
Yeah,
I'm just going to recap the Patreon poll
I've
real
been
quick.
fighting, feeling drowsy
And
because
then
my
we'll
sleep's been
end it.
fucked.
I was like 80% dead for like 60% of my work period today.
That's a lot of
this
percentages.
this is pretty good because I think these are going to be the final results. You got about 20 hours left. This is another thing I added, by the way, because Vesper hasn't been here in a while. I run a poll on Patreon for $5 and higher to just pick an option for an extra one every month. And believe it or not, the current leader, admittedly with only 3 votes, but again, I think everybody who's voted is going to vote. So this would be next week's, and it's the 26th, so we might not. I don't know where everybody will be, like, right after Christmas, but we'll see. But next stream, your current frontrunner is Fire Fist.
Yeah, let's go!
Oh, no.
Yo, this actually was a long con. I'm the one who voted for Fire Fist.
You made 3 separate accounts at the 5 and up level.
This was the long con.
Yeah, but...
Wait, no, I already know one of them. It's Robin. It's your alter ego. Okay, now I'll stop it there.
But yeah, so that's where we're at. And otherwise, when we return to our normally scheduled deck build pack, we get to talk about another deck that tore up the meta in 2020 because it'll be Adamancipator. We're going to talk to you about rocks. Also, I guess we should probably look at Block Dragon.
The best deck that never won a tournament.
Yeah, R.I.P.
R.I.P. 2020.
And we've already had a look at it, but basically we get to be like, yes, and the honorary Adamancipator, fucking Block Dragon.
Yeah, we can talk about
Block Dragon is very funny.
Yeah. I mean, he's why he's there, but also I'm sure a lot of people in chat will say, rest in piss Bozo to Block.
I mean, like, I don't think Block Dragon should be banned, but it is unfortunate that like, just Adamancipator never had the time to be good in a tournament.
Yeah. I mean, you could basically play full power Adamancipator in Master Duel when it came out, and I did. That was my first meta deck in Master Duel, but obviously it's not quite the same vibe because you have to deal with shit like Maxi and stuff, which I will not extend our stream time by kvetching about.
Yeah.
But
Maxi.
This is a fun time, so expect to see some more stuff out of this. We'll try and get stuff. God knows if Dallas will be available. One of these months, Gimmick Puppets is going to win. That's been his eternal pick on the poll, so hopefully he can be there for that to talk about fucked up puppet monsters. And then maybe I can explain to chat the Gimmick Puppet lock.
Oh no.
It's a branded tech, actually. But you can lock out your opponent. It's super cool. But which you mean it's not. But I'm doing that thing where I'm prevaricating. We're here to end the stream. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And hey, it's been like 2 or 3 years since we did it. So if you ever want to go back and watch those old prog videos, it is a playlist.
They're there. We have been gassing up the views lately.
Yeah,
lots of yelling and molding happen.
Yeah. But all right, that's going to be it. So good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.